Not the Chuddle.
Chuddle. Surprise.
Whoa.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So good. If What the Actual Fuck was a movie, out of the mist and into the fog, it's Chuddle the Pod.
Sup, Chuddle Club members? Welcome to another excellent episode of Chuddle the Pod, a horror movie club. And on this episode, we are going to Chuddle Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood.
Ooh.
If this is your first time listening to the show, welcome to the club. We like to have fun here. We keep it spoiler-free early on before donning our hawks and getting deep into Spoiler Lake. Before we continue, I'm going to take a moment to thank our Covenant patrons. Your sacrifice gives us life, and we thank your beautiful souls.
Ooh, that was good. That was really deep. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Now, every good club meeting starts with attendance. My name is Sam, and I am present. Sup. Ross, you here?
Oh, hey. Yes, I am.
Excellent.
And thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks for being here. Bryan, are you here?
Insert Bryan voice now.
Bryan could not be here tonight because he is busy saving lives on the front lines of the life-saving areas. So we thank you, Bryan.
I left for that undisclosed location, and then he was where I was.
Oh, gotcha.
Then,
same thing.
And then back
they thought
again.
He was retired,
like
but they needed the second best in this case, since you were the best the last time.
Well, it's like neck and neck. Like we're the same best.
Okay, gotcha. Well, tonight we do have a guest. We don't have a sound drop. We don't have anything prepped, but we do have our good friend from over at the Nightclub Podcast and the Joe Blow Horror Show, Travis Maxel Boone.
And I'm over here.
Hey, dude.
I'm sniffing my fucking Chuddle mail. I got some Chuddle mail. Chuddle, sweet Chuddle merchandise that came in. So everyone needs to hop on that Chuddle the Pod Patreon because you'll get a dope ass poster, dope ass stickers. Look, I'm just Colombian fresh. Yeah,
that new merch smell.
You guys had to get this imported from Colombia. That Chuddle Colombian good right here.
100% pure and everything.
That good. Thank y'all for having me. Thank you very much.
Thanks
I love
for
being
coming.
on Chuddle
Thank you
the
for
Pod.
being here.
Check out his podcast. Do you want to plug them real quick?
Nightclub podcast at gmail.com. You can email us there. You can find us on all the socials. Nightclub, Joe Blow Horror Show as well. Fuck all that shit. We're here to be on Chuddle the Pod, so fuck all that.
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
With all club members present and accounted for, it's time to crack open the goo book and officially begin tonight's meeting. Boom, 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 boom. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Our first order of business is our spoiler-free teaser, starting with our spoiler-free synopsis and the toe tagline. All right. Jason Voorhees is accidentally freed from his watery prison by a telekinetic teenager. Now only she can stop him. Yeah, accurate. Not too much.
Pretty on the nose.
Yeah.
Kind of nailed it. And then for a tagline, the one on the original movie poster was, "On Friday the 13th, Jason is back, but this time, someone's waiting." So fine.
Ominous.
I like I do have one other that I took from the deluxe edition DVD that is, her mind awoke Jason from the dead. And
That's metal. That's metal.
That's pretty good. Especially if you're going to reveal that there's like telekinesis just from Jump Street. That's a great one to have.
Well, I figure they were probably like, all right, this is a deluxe edition DVD. People whoever's buying this is like, knows what's up.
Based on those taglines, I want to say I think this movie gets carried away.
I see what you did there.
All right, movies are made by people. The people that made this movie are... We have director John Carl...
Buechler.
I'm going to say Buechler. Thank you. Buechler. It was written by Daryl Haney, and then Manuel Fidelo and Shauna S. Cunningham also have writing credits. And the stars of this film be Terry Kaiser as Dr. Cruz, Lar Park Lincoln as Tina, Kevin Spiritus as Nick, Susan Jennifer Sullivan as Melissa, Heidi Kozak Haddad as Sandra, William Butler is Michael, Stacey Greason is Jane, Larry Cox is Russell, Jeff Bennett is Eddie, Diana Barrows is Maddie, Elizabeth Caton is Robin. It's a lot of friends in this one. John Redfield is David, Michael Schroeder is Dan, Deborah Kessler is Judy, and of course is Jason Kane Hodder.
Yeah, boy.
Making his first appearance.
I wanted to say, like, this is his, if I may, his first appearance in the franchise. And the franchise, it's a franchise.
The franchise?
Yeah, the franchise. The
Oh.
franchise is split amongst some hardcore Friday the 13th fans. And Sam, I know you're working your way through the franchise, so the franchise to stay on brand. If you didn't know, there's people who hate Kane Hodder and people who love Kane Hodder.
I didn't know anybody that hated Kane Hodder. I thought everybody loved him.
No, sir. There's well, maybe not now, and hopefully not now, because I'm gonna say right now, I am Team Kane all day.
Oh, yeah.
I love Kane Hodder, and I think he brought a lot to the role of Jason, and the character of Jason in his role as Jason, and so for tonight's movie being like, you know, his first appearance, I'm happy to be here to talk about it with y'all.
Great.
Oh, 100%.
I gotta say, so far I'm unimpressed. I might be on the other side. We'll see.
No.
We've got more movies to go. But I really liked the last one as part of it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, some meters measure water or electricity, but ours measures blood and guts.
It's time for the Goro.
Fatality.
On a scale of 1 to 10, Psycho to the Sadness, how gory is this film? We got 1 to 5 for consistency and 1 to 5 for intensity for our overall score. I think this movie might break the scale because, not because it's off the charts, but because for consistency, it should be a 5 because there's stuff throughout the movie.
The entire movie.
But there's barely, nothing's going on. I think it's like a 2.
On paper with the Goro meter, I had the exact same problem because I had it at a 6, which was 5 for consistency and 1 for intensity.
Right.
But 6 is too much.
Way
I'm probably
too
gonna
much.
I'll probably move it down to be nice, probably like a 4. Like and it could probably go lower than that because there is a gorier cut, I believe, of this movie, but
there is not.
There's not.
I mean, they made it doesn't exist. They did make it, but at this point, we don't have the footage anymore.
I have a very fun story about that too.
Yeah,
we'll get to that.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say
You're giving it a 4?
Is a 2-4. I would give it a 4, and that's being nice.
I'll give it a 2.5.
Yeah.
I've seen the deleted scene. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No.
I've seen the deleted scene.
I was just saying a 2.5 seems generous.
To as far as intensity or consistency?
Total.
Oh, total. Okay. And I don't fault you for that, especially with the theatrical release. The footage does exist of the cut shots. It's out there. The mechanical head, everything else. It is out there, but they have some fans have compiled it into a version of the film you can see with more gore, but you could tell when the cuts turn from the cinematic version to the shoddy.
Yeah, they don't have like a good print of it anymore to actually make it right.
Right, yep. Right. So I'm going to speak purely for theatrical consistency. I agree with y'all. It's throughout the whole film. It's there. 5 for that. Intensity, I'm just gonna. Can I do a 0.5 for that? So I'll do a.
But 5.5 seems too high, doesn't it? by the scale, it's technically correct, but how does that feel in your heart?
In my heart, because I'm also thinking of like action scenes and stunts. I know that's not gore, so that doesn't count. But for some reason, in my stupid mind, it's fighting. I want to.
I agree with you though, because I think there are some like, although you don't physically see it happen, I think later in the movie, you do actually see the aftermath of a bunch of the wounds and stuff like that, which I feel kind of tweaks it a little bit. I don't know.
Right.
I'm gonna give it a 5, and it's tentative only because I just kind of get a little more out of my imagination versus what the movie showing me. So I don't know how to gauge that, but for the Chuddle scale, I'll give it a 5 on the Gorometer, but it's purely for the sake that we get kills.
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally.
Great. All right.
Who is the horror forward?
All right. Starting with what subgenres does this one fall into? I think we're
totally. I mean,
exploring
kind of like
territory. If you've heard our other ones on Friday the 13th.
I was going to say, it's honestly, I would say I would lump this in with all of the ones we had for 6. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's
slasher.
It's pretty much the same. Undead. I mean, this one a lot more because you actually get to see a lot more of the undeadiness.
Sure, but he still
Jason
doesn't act
Voorhees.
like a zombie.
No,
the same
he is
conversation again.
Fueled by, but in this installment, fueled by rage.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Slasher
it's a slasher.
Yeah, it's not breaking any new grounds.
Maybe if you have like a thing about
supernatural actually, because of our
because of our telekinesis.
Lead. Yeah.
So more of like a supernatural horror for sure.
Yeah.
Supernatural, I would agree with. It's kind of got like Firestarter sort of vibes, maybe with the powers.
Carrie,
and
perhaps.
Carrie, of course. I skipped to the whole other Stephen King shit, but it should have been. I even made the joke.
Made a Carrie joke. Yeah. Great. Is this movie fun or frightful? Better in a group or better alone?
Group.
I don't know really that it matters. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think you'd have more fun watching it with people because y'all could just be like, oh, look at these fucking characters who suck.
I feel like you could definitely riff on this with a bunch of friends. Although I do watch this alone all the time. So, I mean, I think it's good either way. But I could be a little biased on it.
Fair enough.
I'm going to vote group then. I feel like group would have been more fun for me. Personally. And last, is this for beginners? I think so. Forget the fact wherever you need to start in the franchise, blah, blah, blah. I think this would be a good starter, like I'm getting into horror movies movie.
Oh, totally. Yeah. And because in true classic Friday the 13th format, you get caught up to speed fairly easily in the beginning of this too. So it's like you don't even need to really see the other installments. And I would say because it's a good creature feature, it's a good slasher, especially for beginners because they neutered a bunch of the kill scenes in this movie. So it's not going to be it's the Gorometer, although albeit reading at a 4 or 5 and a 2, it's not very gory. Like this has already been like cut for television level of non-gore.
Yeah,
I agree with
We'll
Ross.
get into that more.
I'll show my 6-year-old this tomorrow. So yeah, I agree with you.
Right. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. All right. Is the window open? Did somebody make sure to open the window? Yeah, we did. But again, he ran into the wall.
Oh gosh, my fucking head.
Hey, Mothman.
Mr. Mothman, what you doing, boy?
What's our heart? Do we have any? I mean, I guess.
I don't think there's anything particularly triggering or, it's just sort of classic horror fare standard.
I think if you've been to a psych ward before, maybe you'd find this somewhat maybe offensive.
I would say
but
there are definitely some mocking of mental health issues in this movie for the main character. But
it's so fun. You got to kind of
I think it's fine.
Divvies it up amongst
me.
it. Yeah. I mean, it's not like a
I guess a minor trigger
bathroom scene.
I would say maybe for if you've been to a psych ward. maybe.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah, because especially a lot of the characters take a lot of light out of it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, Mothman. Get the hell out of here.
Get the fuck out, boy.
We'll leave a light on for you.
Light his
There we
fucking
go.
flames on fire. Or his wings on fire. My bad.
All right. Some highways lead to hell, but our highway is the...
Spoiler zone.
All right. This is where we dive into the movie. We start with IMDb behind the scenes. I got some all working later, but honestly, a lot of them are ahead of time. So let's get into it.
Let's do it.
In 1987, Paramount conceived Part 7 to be Freddy vs. Jason.
Oh,
with
shit.
A Nightmare on Elm Street's Freddy Krueger facing off as Jason Voorhees. Tom McLaughlin, who wrote a past movie and directed one, I forget which one he did, but wrote a treatment which was about two mental patients in a hospital thinking that they were Freddy and Jason, and they team up to kill other patients until they turn against each other and fight until they kill each other, dying simultaneously, revealing who they really are to the audience.
That sounds like an art house version of that.
Bizarre.
Fucking, yeah.
Whoa.
Kind of dope.
McLaughlin felt that he shouldn't use characters that Paramount own, and found out that they did own the rights to Cheech and Chong, and instead wanted to make a Cheech and Chong meets Jason movie inspired by Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein, but it was rejected by the studio.
Amazing.
Can you imagine? How fucking cool would that have been?
Can we go to that multiverse and watch that movie?
Because it's too late now. We can't get it now. But,
hey, man, who's that guy over there with the fucking hawk and the gloves made of fucking knives?
What would be the equivalent? Would it be like Harold and Kumar meet Jigsaw?
I guess Harold and Kumar would be the closest thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
Because there's not many comedy duos, especially stoner.
Especially in its 7th installment of a slasher series.
Oh, what's the movies with the two rednecks? Tucker and Dale versus
versus
Hatchet.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. They got to fight Victor Crowley. I almost called him Tom Crowley. Who's Tom Crowley? Yeah, I don't know.
Well, that's the other island over. That's his other brother. They haven't gotten to that sequel yet. God, that's amazing.
After the idea for Freddy vs. Jason failed to materialize, Paramount still wanted to make a Jason versus something. So instead of doing Freddy Krueger, they got a character inspired by Carrie. And that... Because they wanted to do Jason versus Carrie, but they couldn't do that. So they're like, all right, we'll just get a teen girl with telekinetic powers.
Fucking A.
Lar Park Lincoln, who's Tina, and Kevin Spiritus, who is, what's his name, Nick, did not get along while making this movie, even though they played love interests. So much so that the actor playing Nick wrote his own script for Friday the 13th Part 8, where the new blood was only a dream, and his character Nick had killed Tina.
Whoa.
You know why Laura Park Lincoln didn't like being on set? Because everyone was doing cocaine. For real. She said that. Yeah. I saw an interview back in the Gap where she was talking about being on, this is just from memory from some documentary, but she was talking about it. It was coming out of her mouth. And she was like, yeah, it was just coke and booze, and everyone was a fucking asshole.
With a lot of these movies, so
yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Oh my god,
she was not happy.
Didn't the director of this one do 2 installments of Nightmare on Elm Street? Didn't he direct 4 and 6?
That's a great
or something
question.
like
that.
I know two actors in this film, the little girl who played Tina as a young child, and the guy with the fucking silly haircut. I think his character name is Nick. They were both in Texas Chainsaw 3. Both of them.
Yes.
They were both in there.
Were. Oh, that's right. Yeah, because it was the brother in the woods that's his surprise party, Michael. It's Michael. And then
Michael.
Yeah.
And the little girl, she played the little girl in Texas Chainsaw 3. So crossover between Friday the 13th and Texas Chainsaw.
He did not direct any of them, but he did direct.
Oh, did the special effects though, right? No?
Maybe, but I'm only looking at director now. He's done tons of special effects, way more special effects than he's done. He's directed 15 movies. He was special effects on 67 movies.
Okay, so no, he
did direct
definitely did that
Trolls.
for the later sequels.
The director of this movie did special effects in Friday the Nightmare on Elm Street films.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think it's like
He did.
4 and 6 or something like that. Yeah, but
he did.
his creature effects are fucking amazing.
Yeah, he did do some for the Nightmare series.
He did Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. This special effects he did. Elm Street 4, The Dream Master.
Dream Master.
Garbage Pail Kids movie.
You get caught in the rush. Dream Master. Dream Master.
Yeah,
It looks
boy.
like that might be it. He did those too. And tons of other ones. Ginger Dead Man.
Nice.
Carnosaur 3, Primal Species.
Whoa.
Seed People. All right. Oh, so those two, though, they hated each other on set. They have since reconnected doing horror conventions and are actually now good friends because I would imagine because they're adults now and can act like that.
Articulate their grievances.
They kiss and made up. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Good.
During the filming, the producers hired a local gator man to alligator wrangle and keep gators away from the actors since I guess there were gators at that little lake pond thing they have in this one.
Man, where?
But they filmed during winter, so gators were never around and they just paid this guy to do nothing.
That boy had an easy
awesome.
job all winter. He was just sitting there
And
being
he
like,
knew it. If you're a gator wrangler in the middle of winter,
Oh yeah, you're definitely
like,
gonna need me.
he was sitting there just dangling a leash in front of the
I
water
guess
being like,
technically
yeah,
it's
there ain't no
fall,
gators
but
out here
still.
now.
Yeah.
Y'all good. Y'all can film. Pay me my $30 an hour union fee.
Director John, what'd you say, Buechler?
Buechler.
Buechler.
Was so impressed with
Buechler.
Kane Hodder when he ate live worms on the set of the movie Prison that he pushed for Paramount Pictures to cast Hodder in the role of Jason. If he hadn't pushed for him to take that role, it would have been reprised by C.J. Graham.
Whoa.
Okay.
So it's because
And,
this
like,
guy ate
everybody-
live worms?
Everybody really liked Part 6 Jason CJ. Or CJ?
C.J. Graham. That's
Yeah.
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 I do as
But
well.
I am so glad that Kane is in this movie.
Hashtag
This interpretation of Jason is just so much more pissed off
I love Kane Hodder.
than most of the other ones. Yeah.
We'll get into it. Or wait,
get
what's the
into it.
Chuddle? Is it we'll get
That's
there?
it.
or
We'll get into it.
we'll get into
yeah,
it,
right?
okay.
Or we'll get there.
We'll get-
We'll get there. Yeah,
We'll,
yeah.
we'll get there. We'll get into
We'll
it.
get there.
During filming, Kane Hodder's dressing room was a quarter mile away down a dirt road. One night, filming ended at 2 a.m., and while still in the Jason costume, he walked down the path in the woods to go to his dressing room. As he was walking, someone approached and asked if he was with the movie. He didn't reply because he thought it was a pretty stupid question to ask, as he was standing there in a full Jason costume.
Oh my God.
When the man asked again, Kane took a lunge at him and grunted. The guy took off tripping and running, and the next day the director told Kane that the local sheriff was supposed to stop by, but he never did.
Breaking the law. Breaking the law.
The law.
Yeah. I love
Are
that.
you with the movie? And it just scares the shit out of a cop.
Imagine he'd be like, are you with the movie down the road? Yeah.
So the mask in this movie was cast from the same mold as Part 3, and then they did the additional damage to it that we had seen throughout the movies, but its outer edges were trimmed down smaller to allow more of Kane Hodder's head to be seen. So that's why it looks like smaller on him.
The special effects guy for this film, dude, he cast a whole body mold of Kane Hodder, a whole body mold, and then he repurposed it and made
Onto a mannequin.
Yes. And then they were like, okay, now we can make all the molds to go on his body that have the spine and the fucking bones sticking out. They went through a whole arduous process for his special effects, his prosthetic effects in this movie. So dope. Best looking Jason of the franchise.
In all 4 films that Kane Hodder plays Jason, Hodder does not blink whenever Jason's one good eye is visible on screen.
Whoa.
That's what I'm talking about.
Dedication.
William Butler, who plays Michael, who is like the birthday boy in the movie, was also part of the makeup effects team, and he helped Kane Hodder with those prosthetic appliances that you were just talking about. Because
cool.
Kane would sweat in his latex makeup appliances, which were then removed and reused and Butler gave him the nickname Stinky Voorhees.
That like Ricky always says, that big stinky swamp boy. Like he's just
no doubt.
Yeah,
this foam latex would have smelled so bad halfway through production.
It'd be like Jackass whenever they had that one
balls
dude.
Prosthetic.
No wonder he was so pissed in this movie. He's the most angry Jason because he's just stinking the whole time.
Just wafting his own sack smell the whole time.
This is the only Friday the 13th movie in which Kane Hodder as Jason Voorhees actually murders characters at the Crystal Lake campgrounds. Even though he's in 4 of them, this is the only one he's in where it's done at Crystal Lake.
Yes, that's right.
Nope.
No. It's because he kills the 2 on Camp Crystal Lake in 8.
Yep.
Oh, they said in 8 that the Camp Crystal Lake people were like not at Camp Crystal Lake. I deleted it because it made the note too long.
Okay. Well, then I will defer to the note but yes. So okay. My bad. I don't know.
The film serves as the longest Jason appeared on screen unmasked, which I didn't want to have realized. Lar Park Lincoln, Tina, did some of her own stunts in the movie, not all of them, but this made me laugh. It said, and also gave herself migraines by doing the bulk of her own crying. And the bulk of her own crying. So did she have a stunt double do the
dibs
rest
on the band
of her
name.
crying?
That's my band name.
That's an emo. That's an emo band, dude. It's got to be emo as fuck. The bulk of her own crying.
The bulk of her own crying.
Emo / post-hardcore.
It sounds like one of those emo bands that like secret seems like they hate women. Like that's like the songs are about like I'm gonna cut you up and put you in the trunk.
I think it's all about it's all a breakup album. Like it's all about because how bad they. Yeah, I love it.
All right. 1988 was the first year in which all 3 of the then top horror series, Halloween, Friday the 13th, and A Nightmare on Elm Street, all released new movies. You had Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood, Nightmare on Elm Street, The Dream Master, and Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. Additionally, I think the first Child's Play came out that year, as well as Hellbound, Hellraiser 2, or Hellraiser 2, Hellbound, what is it?
Yep, Hellbound, Hellraiser 2.
Hold on, it was Dream Master? Wait, it was Dream Master, Halloween 4, and then Friday 7?
Yeah.
Yes.
So this director
did the special
directed
effects.
this one and then did the special effects for the other 2 other heavy hitters. That's fucking amazing.
And they all released the same year.
That year, he was like, I wish I didn't have to pay taxes.
Yeah, King of the World.
Yeah.
88 was just his fucking year.
Yeah.
Now, the director has publicly fumed many times over the number of edits required by the MPAA to avoid an X rating. Oof. The film had to be submitted 9 times to the MPAA before finally being granted an R, and as it stands, it's arguably the most heavily censored in the series. Because of the movie being heavily censored, fans have nicknamed the movie Friday the 13th, The No Blood.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
The director, John Carl Buechler, always referred to this movie as Carrie versus Terminator. There were numerous film scenes that were edited out of the final cut for the movie to avoid an X rating, including Maddie's face getting stabbed in the woodshed, Dr. Crew's body being cut in 2, a longer death scene in the sleeping bag, Russell's axe in the face by the lake, Jason holding David's head, and an ending scene of Jason jumping up out of the water and grabbing a fisherman.
Yep. Well, yeah, and I'm glad they fucking cut that shit out the fucking movie. No one needs another swamp daddy jumping out the fucking water in Part 7. Fuck that shit.
And then
we already got one,
body count for this one is 16. 16 total, so not very prolific. Roy is still in the lead at this point.
Roy
Yeah.
boy, hashtag
Roy
Roy
is
boy
the
for
top
life.
contender.
Roy Boy,
Yeah.
certified Roy Boy. All
Yeah.
right. Who picked it? Why in history? We can run through the. I picked when we first changed to this format of us picking movies. I picked the first one because I'd never seen it, and then got stuck with doing the whole franchise somehow, which has been fun. But that's why we're here. Do you guys have a particular history with 7?
This one I specifically do, actually. Out of all of the installments
Usually
of the franchise,
the answer's no, right?
Yeah, this one like directly because I own a prop from this movie.
Oh.
So I have a Part 7 Hawk that I picked up. Okay, so this is a very weird story. So I bought this thing on eBay, like early fucking eBay, and I thought it was just like a prop replica until I met Kane when I was like 15 years old at a horror convention here in Orlando, and he looked at it and he deadpanned me. He goes, "Where did you get this?" Whoa. And I was like, "I got it off of eBay." And he flipped the mask around to the unpainted side of it, and it had all these different like almost like T grooves going throughout the entire thing. He goes, "I remember the touch, like this is from the production mold. Like you have one from the film." And I was like, what the fuck? 15-year-old me was losing my shit. Tom Savini came over. So it was Tom Savini and Kane talking about this mask in front of me while I'm just dying. I'm fucking dying.
Dude.
And they were just super geeked out that a 15-year-old just strolled in with a fucking prop from the movie. So I asked him, I was like, cool, that's awesome. I need you to sign it.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay. And he goes, to me. And he goes, what? I go, I need you to sign this to me. I'm never selling this. Like, I want you to know that ahead of time. And so huge on the front end of this whole fucking top end of the Hawk is just 2 Ross Kane Hodder. Huge as shit on the front. And I've had it in a shadow box ever since. It was one of the top 10 most awesome things that happened in young Purvis's life.
Glory be to you, my horror maestro. Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, I was like, that's a horror thing. Like, that's a horror rep prop that like I'm never gonna top that.
That's
you
amazing.
can always wipe off that 2 Ross later.
just alcohol it off.
Oh wow.
Do you have any special history with this one, T-Boo?
I saw it young. I saw it. I saw the more comic book Jason movies
First.
before I saw the earlier ones. Well, it was a mix, but anyway. No, I do want to say real quick for the listeners, as a fan of Chuddle the Pod and a patron, I'm lucky enough to be on this show because we're all podcast brothers, but I'm a fan and a patron of the show. And I love that y'all are going through the series episode or film by film every month. And to go on the journey with Sam, who's never seen them, it's been
awesome.
A lot of fucking fun, and I love listening to it like this. And to be here for it again, my nipples are hard. I'm fucking. I got the frissons, which is the goosebumps for all the people who don't know, and
flamingo follicles.
Yeah. So I'm happy to be here, and I think Part 7 is a good entry to talk about.
Dope. Well, we're happy to have you. And with all that said, let's go ahead and do it. Movie talk. All right, so movie starts off right away. We get the voiceover with random clips from other movies.
I want to say,
letting us know exactly where we are.
The voiceover actor is Crazy Ralph.
Sure.
In this film, it's Crazy fucking Ralph.
The first 2 movies, yeah.
Yes,
this
sir.
Is his return as the narrator.
Yeah.
And so he's like, there's stories about this guy named Jason. He kills people.
Now, at this point, at this point in the Friday the 13th series, their montages of catching you up have been getting tighter and tight. Like, this is that what was that drummer movie that it's the
just watched
Drumline.
No, that's good. This one is everybody else thinks it's good, and it's fine.
Yeah.
You
Was
like
Whip-
it? The
Whiplash.
yeah.
Whiplash.
I
It's
said,
like
yeah.
that. Is that by the
Drumline's
time you get to
better.
part 7, this is the fine-tuned, sweating, bleeding on your fingers montage machine. Like we get a very tight. Like this is a very tight montage.
And this is the last time we get one, from what I understand. I haven't seen the other
Yes.
ones yet, but that's
Yes.
what the IMDb trivia
It's-
told me.
Correct. Yep.
So yeah, we get a bunch of different shots. We get the end of the last movie. Then Hawk pops up on the screen, kind
With
of
the
splits
light-
in
with the
half
light
with a
shooting
lightning
out of it?
bolt down it. Yeah. Title card, opening credits. Now, we come to present day. Jason's at the bottom of a lake. Tina.
Oh, Tina.
Little Tina.
We get tiny Tina.
Carol Ann Tina.
She-
Like they banked hard. Like she literally looks like instead of being like they're here,
Yeah.
it's super close.
but it's more like
For both of us.
Dad's drunk.
Dad's drunk
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
No,
Parents
Daddy's
are
in the
arguing.
house.
Dad's drunk. We
Slapping
just
the
hear
wife.
them arguing, slapping mom. Tiny Tina runs out to the lake, gets on the little John boat, goes out. Dad comes to the dock, starts yelling like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Come on back."
I didn't mean it. It's that we're like, I
Yeah.
know that like I know the 10-year-old feels real bad about doing like, you know, telekinesisly killing her father. But like it's there you go. But like they sugarcoat the fact that he kind of is a POS.
Yeah.
Like it seems like this is it's a theme.
Well,
We did it again.
They give her a reason to kill him too, though,
Yeah.
so it's not like totally sugar-coated. But at
Yeah.
the same time, she doesn't want to kill him. She just does, you know.
It's like, please stop. The look she gives too is awesome. Just that like brah, brah.
She's like, I wish you were dead. I wish you were dead. And the dad's on the dock, and his face, I will say, he does look like a piece of shit. He looks like he does. He just does. He looks like a piece of shit. And the doc starts doing this awesome like wiggle wobble, cattywampus, Jim Jam dance.
Because
And-
she stares at it and sends bubbles at it, and then
Going
using
up.
her
Oh, the
mind
bubbles
powers
shoots
to.
underneath.
She doesn't
Mine-
know she's doing it. She can't control it. But
Right.
No, my note on this is that the dad gets killed by the Jaws attraction at Universal. Like this, it looks like, because it's like, I don't know, again, it's they're moving up and down and shaking around a bunch.
Yeah.
But you could clearly, like, it's a sound, like not an outside sound stage. Like you could see like the bubble rip and all this stuff. It just looked like I was at like a theme park.
I do think it looks kind of dope though, even on camera.
Me
I
too.
think it looks really cool, like with the dock shifting and the dad
Oh yeah.
being like, "Oh, I can't even keep my balance, oh my lords."
I'm gonna fall in the water and die. Oh.
Oh dear.
The best part
I
is
mean, but having this in a Friday the 13th movie also must have been bonkers in the theater, because like you're sitting there and like just being like, wait, what?
Right, yeah, I haven't had anything like this before. This is like the origin story for an X-Men character.
Yeah. Yes. This is X-Men meet Friday the 13th. Absolutely.
it's Magneto or Professor X. She's little Professor X over there, or what's the Jean Grey?
Jean Grey, yeah, she's a little Jean Grey, totally.
She's a little Jean Grey, just directing that power over there. And you know, Dad goes down, and I'll save this till the end. If I forget, I'm sorry, but we're in spoiler territory, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Nobody goes and looks for this dude's body, man. No one even goes. He's right there. He's right there. Look, right there.
You know,
He's right there. And they don't even go fucking look for his body. They just leave. Oh, he's dead. Fuck him. Fuck his body.
You make a really good point, because like he's only hypothetically maybe 10 feet from the shoreline. Like that's probably a solid 4-foot drop into the water.
It's
and
not
then
that much.
Like, I would say after a bad summer, like an arm would be lurched out of the water.
Well, and then So Jason's attached to this rock down there. Did that rock like move around like to this little inlet of Crystal Lake? Because this is obviously just a little inlet. Yeah. And in the last movie, it was right outside the camp.
Right.
And now it's right outside these two homes.
So it's totally not outside the camp. You make a really good point because with this, there's no camp anymore, and they've now just doubled up on final chapter because it's two residential houses side by side again.
This
but
is
they
why
weren't
I said,
even on the lake. You had to like hike to the lake from those houses in that one.
This is why I said during Part 6, I was on Part 6, so I guess I'm here right now.
Probably gonna be here for 8 too.
Hey, I would hope so. I love it. When we're talking about Friday the 13th and how the timeline, you just got to suspend. You have to, because if you think about it, it will not match. People have done it like beyond.
Oh, there's no way.
Yeah.
Because like this happens, and then what is it? 7 years after is it 7 or 10? 7 years later, it's teenage Tina shows up. So yeah, so
it would be like 1990, whatever. It just does
it'd be like the early 2000s at this point, because it'd be in the mid 90s once we get the grown up. What's his name? Tommy Jarvis.
Oh, so this would be like this would hypothetically be like 2010.
It does not. It does.
There's
not
a chance it could
up.
be as late as that. Yeah.
It does not add up. So in this franchise, suspend all disbelief. Don't care. Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah,
fuck it.
Suspenders of disbelief are firmly strapped on.
So
mine are they're stretching my balls out.
This was all a dream. Well, it's real, but this all really happened, but it was told to us through Tina having a nightmare,
having a dream.
Mm-hmm. And now she's grown up. She and her mom are now going to the old house where she's had this nightmare about to meet Dr.
Immersion
Cruz.
therapy. Bad news cruise.
Bad news
he's
cruise.
Gonna help Tina with her mental problems.
Her doctor is a fucking. I want to say
piece of shit.
I want to say though, her mom is Claire Higgins from goddamn Hellraiser with that haircut. she's got
totally
the fucking
same hairdresser.
80s. Yeah, the same. They were just in the salon together. Like, what are you doing, dear? And she, check this out. I'm on the set of Hellraiser. Well, I'm on the set of fucking Friday the 13th Part 7. And they were like, oh yeah,
ooh, same dude. Let's do it.
I love the mom's hair and Tina's hair. They both have great hair.
Absolutely.
Feathered to perfection. Chef's kiss.
Dr. Cruz immediately looks like this guy is up to no good. Like from Jump Street. Like he's got that weird, like, I don't know, community college professor, like just dress garb on. Like just everything about him is just.
He looks like a discount Bryan Cranston. Like he's not good enough to be Bryan Cranston, but he's almost Bryan Cranston. Is what he looks like to me.
Yes,
this guy,
the Kirkland brand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. You're killing me already. My ribs are starting to hurt. Hold on.
So they pull up to the old house. I think Dr. Cruz is already there. And of course, there's a cabin of horny teens next door.
Yeah.
Tina drops her suitcase and meets Nick. Nick had been watching as he's, washing his Jeep.
I like how they shot this too.
She drops it, suitcase bursts open. He comes to help. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I love how they shoot this because it's like they want to make like the distance is super far away, but they're only like, I don't know, like a stone throw between each other. So it's just this guy staring at this girl while just washing the side of his car. Just honestly.
I saw birds nesting in his eyebrows right when the scene started. I just saw he's got the eyebrows for days, man. Yeah.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Eyebrow king.
Mm-hmm.
So Nick runs over, helps her pick up her clothes, but he's picking up her undies and stuff. Oh my, how embarrassing!
Oh no!
She's like, yeah, thanks for the help. Goes inside.
Cringe.
Now we have Dr. Cruz having a therapy session, I guess, with Tina.
Move the matchbox.
Yeah, all he wants to do is get her to use her telekinetic powers.
Just move it.
If it's worth anything for Chuddle the Pod, I'm going to point out that we watched this in preparation on the nightclub Discord. We showed it for everyone on there. And one of Snap, who y'all know, she's also on the Chuddle the Discord, which, by the way, jump in the Chuddle the Discord, Chuddle the Pod Discord, everybody out there. Do it. Fun times. And Chuddle the Pod, 2-year anniversary. Congratulations, Chuddle the Pod.
Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, today's the actual day, too. Aww.
Yeah. Chuddle the Pod, 2 years. Fucking dope.
Wild, right?
Dude, this is so much fun. All of this is so much fun. I love y'all.
Love you, too.
Snap pointed out she never seen this movie before, and she said, "Is Tina a guinea pig right now?" She never saw this movie. She never saw this ever. And I was like, Snap, you're goddamn right she's a guinea pig right now. Dr. Cruz, so his whole motive, right? Let's talk about Dr. Cruz for a second. This guy's whole motive, he's there to study Tina, but he keeps her in the psych ward where he's the doctor. He's like the mean Dr. Loomis with a patient who's not Michael Myers.
Yeah.
She's a sweet girl who just wants to live her life, but has these powers. And this motherfucker is out here trying to write a story about her or a paper, whatever he's trying to do.
He's pretending he's trying to help her, but he's only interested in her powers.
Yeah,
and her powers, she doesn't know how they work, but she has to be in like a high state of stress and emotion. So he's just constantly putting her into that to see how her powers work.
Why don't we go back to the place of your father's murders so you can just, get calmer about that situation?
Better. Yeah, that'll help.
Yeah.
This dude's a supreme dick, and look,
on so many levels. For
the interest of science, right? Because science pushes boundaries, and when you're trying to study and you're trying to do things, you push the boundaries, right? You do.
This guy's a regular Oppenheimer.
Hey, I'm on that scale. I'm operating on that scale with these thoughts. But so he thinks I'm gonna push this girl to this child. It's a child. She might be of age, but it's still a kid. It's a young person.
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna push this person as far as I fucking can. So like Ross pointed out, let's bring her back to where she's most traumatized, where she killed her own father. Let's fucking keep the pressure on by saying, if you don't give me results, I'm going to keep you locked up where you don't want to be. Because he constantly threatens that.
Like, I'd hate to have to institutionalize you. Well, at this point, she gets mad at him. And she's like, he's only interested, saying you're only interested in my powers and not helping me. And he's saying that's not true.
No,
and she
I'm not
gets
doing
mad
that at
and
all.
sets the match book catches on fire and she leaves.
Yeah.
She moves it. She does move it across the table, which is cool.
Prior to that, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, Sam. I'm not trying to cut you off.
No, it's fine. Please.
She does move it across the table, and I want to say, like, special effects wise, cool little moment. And when you're trying to incorporate telekinesis into this franchise, which has never been done before until this point, the way this movie does it is actually a fucking 10. Like, in my opinion, the way it does it is a 10.
Well, it's like, I like the fact that they introduce her learning to use her powers, and then under this insanely stressful situation to like master them.
Yes, and so she does move it, and like Sam said, it catches on fire.
Yeah, she moves it, and then they kind of have their argument, and then it catches on fire, and then she storms out. What you kind of touched on, it hadn't happened before. This one, like New Beginning, This Is the New Blood, was supposed to set up a new main character, and Tina was going to go on to star in the next movies, and it just never happened.
Yeah.
Dina?
Now we get two kids. Tina?
Oh, I'm sorry, Tina. Yes, I'm sorry.
Then we get two kids screwing in the van outside. They're like, why are we out here instead of the house?
Yeah.
Well, we're not sleeping, are we? Then Tina runs out to the dock because she's upset from this whole thing that happened. Runs out to the dock where her dad had died and is just out there trying to pray her dad back to life, but oops, all Jason. Jason pops out of the water and Tina faints.
I love this scene because emotionally, I just rewatched this last night. And the way Tina is out there saying, I wish I never would have did this, and I wish I could take it back, and whatever. I'm paraphrasing the dialogue, but she's looking at the water. She's thinking about her dad. And yes, her dad was an utter piece of shit, right? Woman beater, drunk. Okay. Is that, I'm going to be edgy. I'm going to be edgy for a second. Is that the totality of a person? Is that the totality of a person? Was he
I don't think so.
Was he a good dad when she was younger? Maybe.
Oh,
and then,
totally. Well, I mean, enough that she wanted to reverse the mistake that she made by killing him. You know what I mean? So, like, obviously there was something redeemable about this to Tina for the fact if she, like, mentally wants to resurrect what's ever in the lake.
Well, even if he was
but it ain't daddy.
even if he was, like, genuinely terrible, there was no coming back from it, and her mom left him and took Tina away. Like, killing your dad is, no matter how bad they are, is probably something you're not gonna want. You're not gonna want to do.
Agreed. So I was looking at it last night from the perspective of, like, maybe he was a better dad before things got sour and whatever else. And what I gave too much thought to this movie, because you shouldn't. You should not.
Right. Totally.
Right. Absolutely.
But I tend to do that sometimes. And for this movie, in my viewing last night, I was like, why is she so upset about that? I never thought about that before. Like, why do you want to reverse this? Because he sucked. And what Ross said, Sam, you said, just the heaviness of killing your own father is enough. Is enough.
And, like, was it like this every night? Was it only like this when he drinks? If he had quit drinking, could he have been a stand-up? Like, you know what I mean? There's a million, like you said, with this movie, you can't think about it too much.
Because I held back at the beginning of the movie when I said he looked like an utter piece of shit. When he ran to the dock, my honest first response emotionally was he looked genuinely sorry. The actor who portrayed the dad,
could be. You never know.
Looked kind of sorry. He looked sorry. Yeah. And I'm not excusing.
I think he says I couldn't help myself or something like that, or it was an accident. Which,
it's not an accident.
It could be. I agree, but it could be one of those things that you immediately regret. I mean, how many times have you found yourself doing something that, as it's happening, you're like, I should not have done this.
Right, and so I don't want to sound.
Not saying it makes you a good person, but
right, and I don't want to excuse the actions of the character. I guess what I'm saying, like, I felt kind of like this guy looks sad and sorry, but he was a piece of shit for slapping his wife. I mean, I'm not.
Since we're kind of like doing the spoiler, he does redeem himself at the end of this film.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, like, that's a fucking hefty thing to do, is to drag a fucking unnatural killer to a watery grave. I mean, like, I think at that point, slate clean. I think that, like,
and again, I admit, we
don't know enough. Up to you. You decide. Was he a total piece of shit? Or
hey, listener, what do you on a scale of 1 to shit? Let us know.
Was he a douchebag or just a douche?
Just a douche. Was he? Yeah, that's a good point. Was he a douchebag or just a douche?
How many fingers are you gonna cut off for this fucking daddy? Like, I'm not. I didn't even mean to bring it up, but I just kind of felt like,
cool. Yeah, no, I like having these kinds of conversations.
Well, it's a nice, and they, especially in this installment, I will give credit to this, is that there is a lot of, you feel for characters in this movie. Like, there has been installments where you get a name and then
sure, and there's a couple characters in this movie.
There's a few in here that get snipped like that, but there are a bunch that they actually tried setting up narratives for these characters to either like them or hate them.
I think Ross, outside of the main character group that we're talking about, me and you we're gonna disagree a little, not a lot, but a little bit. There's a smidge. We're gonna smidgen a little bit. But let's go, Sam.
I like the friend group in this one, but we'll
Okay.
get through that.
Okay.
So she faints. Jason comes out, but I guess he just leaves her there because then
Surprise!
Dr. Cruz and her mom find her, bring her back. They think he's like, it's just a hallucination. It's just one of your delusions. And I thought this was really funny that Tina's like, I know what you're thinking, but it had nothing to do with my father. And you're like, finding you passed out on the dock where
dock.
you killed your dad and you
Yeah.
said somebody popped
Has
out of the water had
nothing to do with
nothing to
that.
do with your father.
Can I say real quick? I hate this cut. I hate this edit of the
The
film.
fade to black.
No,
Mhm.
no. The version I watched, so maybe it's different. But when Tina passes out on the dock, it cuts immediately to her on the couch with the mom. And
That's not what I saw.
okay, so we saw different versions. Then I don't know.
Weird.
Yeah,
You know,
weird.
that's actually a really good point because I have the DVD box set that I originally got. I do not have the Blu-ray one that you guys picked up. I wonder if there's anything different. Oh, okay. I know that we're going on 1,000 different side tangents.
That's what it's here for. It's a
But
spring conversation.
You're
Right.
welcome, Brian.
with the Kane Hodder, when I met him, what I forgot to say in that
Is
story,
it Hodder?
No,
Kane Hodder, Hogan, Hulk
Kane
Hogan,
Hodder.
Hulk Hogan, Kane Hodder. He was selling VHSs of a bunch of different stuff, and one of them, which I had purchased, I think it's a storage unit somewhere. It's all the unedited kill scenes from Part 7
Yeah, boy.
on VHS.
Wait, you have
So I
that in the
had-
storage?
Yeah, it's somewhere. Yeah. I mean, I've had it for. Oh, dude, it's amazing. But it had all of the edit cuts in one kind of.
Wait, so
cacophony of
Kane
chaos.
Hodder was selling fucking illegal VHS tapes?
Maybe I shouldn't have said that on air.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah,
Doesn't
leave
matter.
it
I'm
in.
sure that
leave it
him
in,
doing that
Brian.
at conventions is well known.
Yeah,
Leave
right,
it
exactly.
in. Yeah.
I actually didn't get to watch any of the special features this time because I just didn't have the chance.
You're too
But
sexy.
yeah, in mine, he pops out of the water and she faints and it fades to black. And then it's like him walking out of the water. And then they find her on the dock and bring her inside. And she comes to.
I'm talking about the cut between, right, what you're saying, but like the
Yeah.
cut between her, when they find her on the dock and then bring her inside, that cut, that edit
Okay. Gotcha.
is so choppy and weird. It's
weird.
It's,
Yeah.
I'm nitpicking. I'm nitpicking.
No, I understand. It's fine.
Yep.
So couples have to walk to so now we meet Michael and his girlfriend who are traveling to his surprise party, but he doesn't know it.
And it gets
Their
ruined.
car's broken down or something, so they're hiking there. And that is why we have a cabin of horny teens. Now Nick comes over to see Tina and invite her to the party. And her mom's like, yeah, I think that's great. Dr. Cruz is like, you let her go with that boy? And she's like, don't you want her to be normal? And he's like,
Oh, sure.
Touche.
Yes. All right. Yeah.
With his big old bushy eyebrows, Nick.
Oh my God.
Bushy,
I'm guessing
bushy.
we must see Jason's back here because this is when I wrote Zomback Jason. Is my
Dude.
Okay.
Go ahead, Ross.
Visually.
Yeah.
Visually, Part 7 Jason is so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like, in Part 6, we get kind of like the slendery kind of Jason, kind of more mummy, I guess would be the best way of putting that. Although, like, he has maggot face in the beginning of when he gets resurrected in 6. It's like, for me, it's almost like a mummified corpse.
Yes.
And this one gives the appearance of like, I've been underwater for a decade. Like, just super grossy, kind of like just having all of like the bone hinges, like just the elbows and the kneecaps, like how, I don't know, the entire
spine.
Oh, the spine on the back is just amazing.
10 out
You know
of
what I
10.
mean?
Like you can see some of the bones in his hands.
I honestly,
Although I prefer
best
the look
looking
in
Jay-
6 better and the actor in 6 better. But
Yeah.
to each their own.
Oh, hashtag, hashtag.
I totally get that though, Sam, because like they're two completely different beasts. Because like
Very
both
different,
is
yeah.
very different because they play Jason very differently. Like this is for better choice of words, and I enjoy Kane's interpretation, it's very apex predator, as in like this guy is beelining. He's like a shark. Like,
oh, that's interesting. I feel of him as more of like aimless, whereas in 6 it was more like clearly like he is fucking walking towards something.
Wow, that's interesting. I like that interpretation and difference of perspective, because I agree with Ross, but that makes me want to go back and watch 6 again to see what you're saying, because I'm not disagreeing, and I'm not even saying you're wrong, because I just don't.
No, it's fine.
I don't remember
we can
him
have different opinions.
I think part 6 for me is like he's very stoic and then attacking, and then I feel like just Kane in this one is just continuously walking.
He's so mad. He's so mad.
6 is like the first time I felt like the walk in any of them was like intimidating or scary at all, because the guy was like former military or something, and he walks like he's like sweeping a room or something. Like,
yes.
Oh,
Totally.
It's very tactical Jason, and he's got the belt and the gloves. Makes sense.
Yeah, that is dope.
All right, now we have Michael the birthday boy and his girlfriend back in the woods again, but this time they get killed.
These kills
she gets a spike to the neck.
Yes.
Right? Like he pops up behind her and stabs her.
Yeah, it's like a spike. It's like a spike through her throat. And then Michael's killed with the same spike, but it's like thrown into his back, and then and then
he lifts him up on
it. Ooh.
But again, there's very little blood in any of this. You actually don't even see her get stabbed. You see her on the tree with the thing in the neck, and he pulls it out and then throws it at him.
Totally.
But when it happens, you don't see it.
I would have really liked to have seen, like, I guess the better choice of words, like a psycho cut of this, is that if you couldn't get away with showing the gore, show multiple angles of the same thing, like the shower scene, where it's like it makes you imagine it being way worse than what you're actually watching.
Yeah, I follow. Now Tina, so they get killed. Tina comes to the party, immediately meets this nerd guy, the writer, who's talking about a colony of protozoa or something, whatever.
You're meeting all the weebs right now.
Yeah, we're really going through it. So so that happens, and then Nick's like, oh, don't worry about him. Everybody else is kind of normal. We meet the stoner. There's the 2 girls that each have a crush on him, which is like highly unusual. The stoner character is never the character that the girls are fighting over. But
it's very strange that they like this fucking fuck up. I don't know.
I agree.
I'm not saying stoners are fuck ups. I'm a stoner through and through. But I'm just saying this one guy in the movie, I'm like, why him? What?
He's a stereotype.
Yeah,
too.
they're all going after Shaggy, and it makes no sense. But for this universe, it's fine because
Sure.
Yeah.
Only one other girl likes Nick aside from Tina. Melissa.
Melissa. Okay.
Oh,
she sucks.
No, she sucks. Melissa. We're not there yet, maybe because you were going through the plot, but Melissa, when she shows up and the way her character is, do I like her? Yes, as a character, I like her. Do I like her character choices and what she does? No, hell no. Melissa is a fucking asshole.
She's a real see you next Tuesday.
Yeah. Yeah.
As she is called by the nerd guy later.
Yeah. Yep.
The couple who had been out in the van are now inside. This is his uncle's place. He's like, oh, what is this, closing time at the stock exchange? Which is that particularly messy or something? I don't know why he says that for the counter being messy.
Because like at the, I don't know, you ever seen like old movies that have the stock exchange? There's just papers flying everywhere.
Yeah, they're like, buy, sell, and there's shit all over the place. Yeah,
see?
Yeah.
They just throw it? I thought they just waved it in their hands.
Wall Street was chaos, dude. It was chaos.
So now we see that Melissa clearly has a crush on Nick and doesn't like Tina because Nick clearly likes Tina. And Tina has a vision of Michael at the party with blood spewing out of his mouth. Jason holding him up. Drops her thing. Freaks out.
Yeah.
Leaves.
She drops her beer and everyone's like, what the heck's wrong with her? And I'm like, going
saw
back
this
to
guy get grizzly killed right in front of her.
yeah, she's having
Nobody
all
else
these.
is.
Which is also like, what?
She's
Totally.
having telekinesis powers and now premonitions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Totally.
I
Although
guess
that
that
had
would
already
be-
happened, so she's just having visions.
Now she's having like, which is it because it's just like, all right. You know how he's like a demon of like a chastity demon? Do you think it's because two supernatural creatures are in the same vicinity? So like she's getting more powers because Jason's there?
Ooh, that's
Could be.
interesting. I like that thought.
Could
I
be.
never thought about that before, dude.
Yeah, where it's
They're
like, because
mixing
he's
their
a,
waters.
yeah, it's like, oil and water mixing. You know what I mean? Like it's just like having, she's
Where
like,
the river meets the sea. Little
Right.
estuary, if you will. All right. So Tina goes back home next door, sees the spike in the door, and goes into the house, is freaking out. They're like, all right, let's go.
I like the spike in the door. I like that imagery of it. Like, just not to derail too much, but I just really like her seeing it. And when I was a kid watching the movie, that was one of the scenes where I was like, oh man, everything's fucked now, man. Like it's all fucked up. Like it just, it always stuck with me.
it's
She
one of
tells
those
the
fun
doctor to
ones.
go see it so they know it's not a delusion. Does he
He takes it.
take? Does he take
Yes.
it? And that's why
Yeah.
he has
Yes.
the cleaned up
Yep.
one later.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes. So like
I
he,
was kind of confused on some of that stuff. It
He's
wasn't
an
very
asshole
clear.
piece of shit, that fucker.
Yeah.
Cruz.
well, he didn't really believe the visions were premonitions. So like he sees that and it would completely derail his experiment. So he just hid it.
Well,
Yep.
it would only help him to take it and make her think. That only helps his case for him to take it.
I do find it interesting in this installment is that usually we have a moderately slow burn before kind of like pure havoc ensues. I really like the fact after the first two murders here that Jason's already at the houses. Like that's a clear, like if he stabbed it into the door
yeah.
or he stabbed it in the thing, that means like he's already at that location. He's not, I don't know.
But he does leave immediately. I understand the point you're making, but he must leave immediately because my next note is two random campers. They're going to die.
Oh, because he knows where the house of kids are.
Nobody. We've been like we at this point introduced two brand new characters. I feel like it must have been one of those notes. Not enough people die, so
They need more body
added
count.
Yeah.
We need more people to die in the woods. How do we do that?
So they're flirting. He wants to hook up. She's like, "Go get firewood." So he goes to get firewood. Does the worst Arnold impression ever, where he's just like in his regular voice, is like, "I'll be back," and leaves. And he brings his machete with him. He finds a log, and like out of a video game, he just bangs that log, and a bundle of sticks miraculously falls out of it, which he collects to bring back to the camp. This whole sequence is just ridiculous.
It's so bonkers.
And it's so low key though, like you don't even realize how ridiculous what's happening is. Yeah. Carrying everything back, and he gets, I guess, punched through the back, and the machete sticks into the ground.
Yeah, it's like he got
then he takes
punched
the machete.
through and then out, but it just looks like
Yeah.
he just got like bear hugged a little too much and then drops to the ground. Like you don't really.
It's not the best sequence.
Yeah.
And so
But
then
Judy.
then we get a great sequence where
Oh,
Jason comes to the tent. She's like, "Are you out there, big boy?" or whatever she says.
what are you
And
waiting
then-
for? Come and get me.
bro.
Yeah. Slices through with the machete, picks her up in the sleeping bag, drags her out. She's in there fighting like a cat in a
Wiggling
paper
around.
bag. And he takes her over to a tree, whacks her, and that does it, I guess.
In the so in the extended cut of that, he whacks her a few times and it gets real juicy.
Yeah.
Like it's just whap, 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 whap,
Yeah.
and throw down. It's
So
way more brutal looking.
Here
I
comes
love-
an IMDb behind the scene.
Oh.
What do you love? Tell us first.
I just love the setup of the So all these movies involve a camp, and everyone's going camping, and sleeping bags are part of going camping. You know, you're sitting around the campfire, whatever. This is the first movie where you incorporate the sleeping bag, and Jason fucking just drills someone into a tree. I love this scene. I love it.
Taking something traditionally associated with camping and using it for a kill. Who'd have thunk?
Yes, sir.
IMDb behind the scene, Kane Hodder said what is it? Coon Hooter?
Kane
Hodder.
No, it's Coon Hooter.
Difficult with the scene where he kills the camper in the sleeping bag by bashing her into the tree because it was a dummy filled with fake blood, and it was heavy. So the scene required a number of retakes because he kept swinging it as hard as he could, but no matter what he did, it didn't look right. By the final take, he was so fed up with shooting that he hit it a bunch of times, and after he dropped the bag, he kicked it angrily. And they ended up using part of that cut in the final bit of the movie. But
he was so frustrated and mad, he was done with it. Yeah. I love that. That's like in Lord of the Rings when in part 2, Two Towers, when Aragorn kicks that fucking helmet when they think that Merry and Pippin are dead. Aragorn kicks that fucking helmet, and in real life he broke his foot because it was so fucking heavy. So when you see his reaction on screen, the cut they used was
that one.
Yes, sir. Viggo Mortensen is in pain. I love that about. So Kane Hodder was so mad. He was like, fuck that shit over and over again. Yeah, I love it.
That's the one we're going to use.
Yeah.
And in retrospect, Hodder has said that that's one of his favorite kills. And it also says he later recreates it in Jason X.
Oh, don't read that, Sam.
I couldn't help it. It happens
God,
sometimes. I'm not too worried. I think I've seen that in a GIF anyway, because this wasn't the sleeping bag.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And if you don't know the context of that scene, you're still gonna have.
I don't. It's just a GIF. Yeah. All right, now we get kids hanging out some more, establishing characters. We got it's just like a few couples. There's the black couple that seem like they're fighting. There's the other couple that all they've been wanting to do is screw. There's the two girls wanting the stoner. Nick and Tina are hanging out by the lake. Nina tells Nick about her dad and her mental problems. Meanwhile, Melissa's been spying on them. And then Tina and Nick kiss.
Melissa
and they both, as actors, hated it.
Yeah.
And that sucks. That sucks. Unfortunately, it would be cool if y'all were at least like chemistry, and it would be like
that point. It was all paycheck.
That sucks, but
that's acting, baby.
Fair. But Melissa, man, her character, that conniving woman in this movie.
Devil. She-devil.
She is the devil woman. She the devil.
What an asshole. I also I don't even know. I don't think it's this part, but where Nick specifically is like, I do not like you at all.
Yeah, it's coming.
It's coming up. Yeah. So now we go back to the.
Sucks.
It's so good. I love that part. So we go back, rifling through the kids again, just getting a couple lines from each one. I guess it's establishing character. Some of them it is, some of them it's not.
This is why I don't like the fucking characters in this movie, man. They're not that memorable. Some of them are, but most of them aren't. Ross will check me on that when we get to it, but
well, I like the characters in this one.
Oh, and then both of y'all will, yeah.
No. I mean, I do agree with part of that too, because I feel that if we have, I don't know, I think out of all the groups of kids, this is on the top tier of more memorable than less memorable. But we are dealing with part 5 Slaughterhouse. So that's kind of a weird weighted thing. You know what I mean? Where it's is it the best group of kids? Absolutely not. Is it good enough in the line of that we've seen before? Way better. They're getting better, at least for somewhat sympathizing with your.
I like the nerdy writer kid. I like even though I think it's ridiculous, the two girls fighting over the stoner guy. I like those girl characters.
Mhm.
I like Nick. I like Tina.
I think we'll
I
dive
like a
into
lot of
that maybe later, but so I can't wait to.
Yeah, we'll talk about them as they die.
Yeah.
That'll
Yeah.
be easy.
Ooh.
So Melissa decide. They're hanging out. The two girls are still fighting over the stoner. This is where even though they're friends, the ones tells her like you need a little touch up if you want to get with him, which is such a not nice thing to say.
She
How
and I
mean.
want to say before she does her 80s makeup,
Mhm.
I liked her in her glasses way more. Like
Sure.
I'm not trying to be whatever, but I'm just saying like I found her hotter in her
Yeah,
glasses.
you thought she was more attractive
Yes.
originally before she.
I found her more attractive.
Because she was being her genuine self.
Exactly.
Yeah, dude, I really did. I thought she was hot as fuck with her glasses. And then when she did her 80s makeover, and I was like, yeah, you're still cute, man. But I like you with your glasses. Put those glasses back on. I like those.
Yeah.
They're good.
If not, you're just going to be tripping.
I want
So
you to
now
be Velma.
Melissa-
Jinkies.
Melissa decides to hang out with the nerd to make Nick jealous. She starts flirting with the nerdy guy. Then one of the girl who made the mean comment decides she's going to go get high with the stoner. The other girl's like, "What? You didn't say we do that." She was like, "Hey, we said we'd have fun, right? So I'm going to do it."
I'm sticking to my commitment to having fun.
Then Melissa is like, "Hey, Tina, is this what the jackets were like in the mental hospital?" Because she's got the nerd guy wearing the
Yes.
jacket backwards with
that's the
arms
scene
and
I
like
don't
a
like. I don't
straight
like
jacket.
I don't like that scene because, you know, like, well, for the movie, it's appropriate because they're all making fun of her. But this is the part where I was saying, like, for trigger warning, like, if you've ever been in that situation where, you know, for whatever reason you were locked up in there in a psych ward or whatever, and you come out and these people are fucking making fun of you. I've got a son that's autistic, and I worry about, you know, how people are going to treat him, and they already mock him. They already do it. They do it in the mall. He's stimming, and they mock him. Teenagers mock him. Teenagers mock my fucking 5-year-old son. And it's like, thank God I'm not there because I'd go to jail. But
Right.
I
think it's because it's nothing that they've ever had to personally experience. It's such an abstract concept that's why they think it's not a big deal to be making fun of said things. You know what I mean? Where it's
this is like 1988 too. There were
true.
A lot of things were getting made fun of.
Oh, 100%. But again, I do agree with you. I mean, it's just it's a very callous, low blow thing to do. Any kind of health, mental health or physical health. It's like basically making fun of disability or, you know what I mean? Like it's a pan shot.
I do try to exist in the realm where everything can be made fun of in the right light. I try to exist in that realm because I think everything can be funny in the right light, But sometimes maybe it's not the same. And if you're personally attached to it, you know, I try to keep.
But also this triples down on how much of an asshole fucking Melissa is in this movie. Where it's like, if you didn't think she was a huge piece of shit,
she's a piece of shit.
Wait.
Yeah.
Well, and it keeps getting worse.
That's what I'm saying.
Tina does break her necklace with her mental powers.
I love that because was like, it was an inch away from being a Darth Vader fucking chokehold.
Yeah.
And she was like, no, I'm just gonna get the pearls, and just that snap off was so good.
Yeah, it's so good. I love that scene too.
Tina runs home, starts arguing with the doctor about her treatment. And then she mentally throws a TV at him.
Oh, fuck you, dude.
A tube TV at that.
Yeah. That's a heavy TV.
Wrap your mind around that, everybody, with your fucking LEDs and your plasma screens.
Tina sees Nick ask for a picture of brother. And then... Oh, okay. So Tina, I guess, has run off again. Left the house. Nick finds her. She's telling him she's got a bad feeling about everything. Asks for a picture of the cousin that hasn't shown up yet. Sees that it's the guy from her vision.
Yep.
It's like, I think he's dead. Now the horny couple that's just basically been having sex most of the movie goes skinny dipping. Guy gets killed by Jason.
Russell and Sandra.
Yes, there you go.
I want to shout out the movie for this point, and I'm going to sound kind of grindhouse right here, but listen. In the fucking 80s, Sam's like, oh shit, Bryan, cut this out if you want. In the 80s, I saw this movie. Was it theatrical cut? I don't know, because I didn't see the mechanical head crush, but I saw this. This movie did a fucking upshot of the girl in the water.
Mm-hmm.
It was
bare bones.
Oh, it was definitely a Jaws imitation.
Right,
for sure, because it's almost the same. It's the same shot, same beat, all that kind of stuff. And it is really funny because it's not like a part. I don't mean to keep on going back to it, but a part 5 where it's like such a gratuitous amount of nudity. It's not. But it's like, but it's just enough. No,
it's
nudity.
Very little.
I'm gonna say as a teenage T-Boo was rewinding this shot.
Oh, that entire the lake scene for you was just completely
when
like,
you were the age that you wondered what a boob felt like,
dude. Yeah, like I'm not trying to be a perv, but I'm just saying like females are gorgeous and beautiful, and in that moment,
should have been in part 5 though. This is very hard to make out compared to.
Part 5 is like in your face, but I find that it's a. I'm assuming they kept. I almost feel like they added more nudity just to keep it R, because after all the gore was taken out of this movie, it could easily be a PG-13.
And maybe it's just compared to the franchise. I know the last one didn't have any, but this one is. Just kind of side boob on it. You never get the full on, just like walking around topless like you do in some of the other movies.
The version I watched last night had full on, so I don't know what I watched.
But I mean, it's still underwater and blue light.
No, like not even this scene. Like I'm saying, Sam, other scenes I saw.
Oh, it's like girl who bangs stoner guy. I think that's the other big nudity scene.
Boobs, but it's not.
Okay, I have a question about Jason Voorhees' not tying skills, because I think Underwater for a decade fucked up some of his like his Cub Scout skills, because God damn it, Russell with his axe wound to the face. This cat gets dropped out of a tree no less than I think 3 times. Every time Jason tries throwing this dude into a tree, this guy it just falls out of it at the most inopportune times.
I would say opportune times.
But that's true.
We'll get to it.
Maybe he has it's a pulley system. So maybe he's just like waiting and he just drops the Russell.
Everyone out there who fucking hates the remake of Friday the 13th from 2009, suck a fucking big one, because you know what? This movie, well. Okay, my bad.
But I bet it's probably better than the original, because the original ain't that
You
good.
goddamn right it is. You goddamn. Wait till y'all cover it. I hope I'm there for it, because it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We will cover it, but I am not counting it as part of like.
Oof.
Once we get through these 10.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a little breaky poo.
Well, count Freddy versus Jason as part of it, because it's technically it's canon. It's canon.
Well, but we haven't done all the
canon
Nightmare movies. So
Nightclub will, and we can combine forces.
We'll
do it together. Yeah.
Anyway, we'll get to all that stuff. That's all future.
Okay. Yeah.
Where are we
in the 7th?
Is this the first?
Oh, so they both get killed at the lake there.
Yeah, they both get killed at the lake. Now, question: is this the first just straight up drowning that he does? Because like most of it's like getting impaled or stabbed in a boat by a lake.
I can't recall another one.
Because like we get full-fledged like aquatic.
Well, Tommy doesn't die. He kind of kills him in there.
He kind of kills him. But like this is, because now we're getting undead Jason. So like now we've got aquatic Jason, which we get introduced to in part 6, and in part 7, like this kind of got me, because I was waiting for a stab or something like that, and he just because he doesn't need to breathe, just holds her underwater, which I feel was like more off-putting, as like really showing like the definition of him being dead, where he's just like, I'm just gonna grab your ankle and I'm just gonna hold you here.
Yeah, looks at his watch.
Yeah, like that to me is like even more fucked up than getting stabbed to death, I guess, where he's just sitting there, doesn't have to like break your ankle or anything. He just has to just tug on you until you just die.
Mm-hmm.
That's dope. I mean, like he could get away with so much.
Right.
Now we get the black couple that's been fighting. I guess they're making up now because they're in the van hooking up. Melissa is hooking up with the nerd, thinking it'll make Nick jealous, even though Nick just told her she's about to hook up with the nerd, trying to make Nick jealous, even though Nick just told her he didn't even like her.
Oh my God. It's like, all's love and all's fair in love and war. You're not listening to me. I literally am telling you, I don't want
I don't like you.
I don't even like you. Like there's no chance. So what you're saying is there's a chance.
Big hardcore no.
Now we see the doctor pulling out the spike from his drawer. And I guess at this point we were supposed to think that was the spike from before.
Yes.
But it was clean. So I was like, is this a second spike? What's he doing? Did he find this somewhere else?
Well, I mean, you're gonna clean your spike. I mean, I don't know if you're gonna keep like a bloody spike. You may spritz it a little bit before you put it in your drawer.
Better wash this off.
Spritz your spike.
Spritz your spike.
Now, then walking in woods, find... Oh, now the doctor's walking in the woods. I guess he's going for a think. And he finds Michael's body, the birthday boy body, in a tree.
And he's like, oh.
When does the mom... Did the mom die already or before this?
No, now while this is happening, she goes into the doctor's room, finds
that he's a big old piece of shit.
Yeah, puts on the videotape. Here's the doctor talking about he's trying to keep her in an emotionally stressful state to induce her telekinesis.
Piece of
then
shit.
I guess the doctor comes back. She argues with him about Tina's treatment. Doctor says he's going to have to commit her. Tina's in the house over here, grabs the car keys and leaves.
Yeah.
While she's leaving, she sees a hallucination.
Hallucination.
Yeah, hallucination. Yeah.
Killing her mom and crashes into a tree.
Yep. And she goes running into the woods. And at this point, the doctor has already seen Jason fucking murder her mom, right? He
Not yet.
It's coming up. It's coming up. But yeah,
I'll mention it when it happens.
Okay.
Yeah, see, it's weird because like before she had like her death perception is getting weirder because like with Michael's body, he had already died. And then she saw his murder, and now she's seeing the future of her mom being killed by Jason.
Yes. Their waters have intermingled further. That's the problem. Yeah. No, now we go to the house where the girl is putting up all the makeup and trying to make herself look better, and she says, "Need a little touch up, work my ass."
Yeah.
And she leaves to find the stoner.
I feel so bad for
earring
Maddie.
in the woods, and Jason chases her into a shack.
A shack shed?
A shed?
But this is the first time that we get Russell that drops from the tree. So, like, she's like, oh, found it. And then, blap. What the fuck?
The corpse alarm goes off, and Jason's like, oh, great. And then he just resets it. That's what happens.
He just pulls it back up.
Yeah.
So this whole stalking scene into the shed shack, when she's looking through the slats, the lighting is great on Jason. Like that's just that stark blue, especially like the color palette they used, which was like this weird blue gray kind of just deadish kind of, even his hockey mask. It just looks so destitute. And
when
then
he's sneaking up in there, like sneaking up behind her.
And then seeing him get the scythe and going behind is just like,
This is one of the better parts of the movie. The visual storytelling, the framing, the colors, the lights, shadows. Like
off-screen kill, but
Stronger
man,
part.
It looks so good though. Going up to it.
Yeah, so she's hiding against the wall, and his hands, one at a time, burst through behind her, grab her. He's got the scythe in one hand, or the sickle, and stabs her, but it cuts.
Yeah,
like most of them do.
Yep.
Doctor and mom find Tina's empty car. Jason finds horny teens. That's what I wrote.
As he do.
He'd do that.
Stoner and the girl who left with him are having sex inside.
Mm-hmm.
The couple that's making up are having sex in the van outside. Jason starts rocking the van.
Yeah.
When Jason's
They
rocking,
think-
don't come
a
knocking.
knocking. No, yeah.
They think their friend Michael, the birthday boy, has arrived and that he's fucking with them. So they leave the van. The guy goes out. Jason grabs his head and kind of...
Dude.
Oh, the uncut scene
Breaks
of
it?
this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
just fucking...
Yeah.
Oh, makes an accordion out of this man's skull. Like, it is so good.
Yeah, we
I-
don't get that in this. It's again
Nope.
implied. Something starts to happen and then it's...
His weird, like you hear the crunch and then him going like, even as in an edited scene, the way that actor acts, is super weird. I don't like it. Like,
he's
at
not
all.
a very good actor.
No.
That couple is one of the weaker
But that scene,
characters
uncut,
in this movie. We never really get anything out of them.
Yeah.
Or
the
what's going
uncut
on.
version of that scene is so fucking dope, though, man. It's so...
So gory.
Ooh, I wish they'd have left it in. Yep. I wish they'd have left it in. It's so... They put a lot of work into that scene where they had the mechanical skull that was being crushed down with blood squirting out everywhere. Like, they put so much work into it. And the fucking MPAA,
Just
they did their
neutered that
thing.
entire thing.
Most perfect asshole association.
That's
Am I
right. That's
right?
right. Yeah. Yep. Good job. Yeah. That's them.
And so now the girl peeks out of the van window, is like, "What's going on?" She gets stabbed in the eye with
a
a
fucking party
noisemaker.
horn.
Yeah, that goes when it goes through her eye. That's a great gag. I
love that.
I gotta give it
So-
up for that.
That's
Yeah.
dope. That's dope.
Absolutely great.
Dope as fuck.
Then Melissa and the nerd are kind of hooking up, but not really, because she's like not into it at all and is very mean to him and was like, "I was only doing this to get him jealous. It didn't work, and then you couldn't turn me on, so forget it." So he leaves because she sucks, and Jason walks up to the house and rips the power out of the meter box, like where the power is being fed into the power meter.
Dude, I love it
Rips
because
it
like
out. That's cool.
this is again with this Jason, you tell how fucking strong he is. I mean, obviously, part 6 he bends a man in half. You know what I mean? But
yeah, he
like
punches a guy's heart out.
pushes the guy's heart out. Like
Through
we're
his
getting. I
body.
mean, obviously they've all been edited, but like he's punched through someone. Like he's underwater for 20 minutes. I mean, like there's just he's just that.
He's been living in water for a decade.
a decade.
Or so.
So like it's his new apartment. No, I do. I just the fact of him just marching up and just ripping the whole power out, like just cord out.
So
it's
cool.
just so good.
Very like hulking. It really does give you. It's a small action that gives you like just a oh shit. He
Oh
is.
fuck. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, the way that he eliminates the house in this is pretty fucking. I mean, it's pretty fast. Like once he gets in the house, it's kind of just a boom, 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 boom.
Oh yeah, for sure. So he rips the power out of that meter box. Then Tina and Nick are in the woods, and they find the Michael in the tree, the birthday boy.
Yeah.
Now we cut back to the stoner and the girl in bed. Power's gone out. He gives her a flashlight. He's going to the kitchen for like a sandwich or something.
Yeah.
When he gets into the kitchen, he slips on blood, it seems like, on his way to the fridge. And then Jason meets him in the kitchen with a butcher knife. Ka-chow.
Whack.
Stab.
Got him. Nick and Tina get back to the cabin. It's empty. They start going through drawers. Tina finds a book with old clippings about Jason. Like, why is there a journal
was that the?
in the?
Well, that was the journal of. That was the journal of MacGuffin, right?
MacGuffin journal.
I don't understand. Yes, absolutely. I don't understand its purpose at all. Did the doctor have it? Was it her dad's?
I
Like,
think
this is
it's
her
supposed
house,
to be
right?
her dad's because it's like under or over the gun. So like it's the gun and then that, but also like why? Why? Maybe that.
Why did he have this? Yeah.
Did that cause the drinking? He's like, oh my god, I got this lakefront property that's basically the burial site of a mass murderer.
Maybe he was one of the OG camp counselors who survived.
Oh,
Pamela Voorhees. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Now we got the nerd guy hanging out, opening Michael's presents. I guess he opens the one from Melissa.
Yeah,
and it's a penis enlarger. And inside,
a magnifying glass.
A magnifying glass.
It's fantastic. I also, the concept of this dude just being like, fuck this guy's birthday party, I'm just going to open all of his gifts is hilarious to me.
Big time.
At this point, he doesn't give a fuck.
This movie's off the
Tina
rails.
and Nick try to find everyone. Well, Tina is like, I want to find my mom. And he's like, yeah, great, but we need to get everybody together first because this is bad. Then we'll find your mom. The girl that had slept with the stoner is now sneaking around the house looking for him, finds his head. Jason pops in like he was waiting for her to scream and then throws her out a window.
I like that he throws her, like he grabs her and throws her
window
to her
kill.
Back to the window. But in the scene with the stuntman clearly in a wig getting thrown out of the window, he's going like he's face first, which I think is hilarious.
I think I think this fits with the Friday the 13th out the window fucking shit though. Like
absolutely,
you have to now.
All these movies
at this point for sure.
Yeah,
gotta do it.
Once you start, you can't stop.
Yeah.
Tina waits for Nick to find everyone before they go look for her mom. So yeah, that's right. It happens. We get two scenes of the same thing. I was like, why did this just happen twice? Doctor and mom are still in the woods looking for Tina. Jason chases them. Holden, what is he holding? I couldn't think of the name of that tool. It's like some sort of farmer gardening tool.
Well, it's like a
it's like a weed eater, but not. It's like
it's not that. This is like the blade, the curved blade on the end of like
it's a curved blade.
handle.
It's like a branch. It has an extender. I always thought those things were like branch.
Oh, it's a branch cutter.
Saw. Yeah,
it's
like
not a branch cutter.
Yeah,
it's not.
Yeah, something like that.
Because those are like look like saws and have the strings and stuff. Anyway, none of us know, but my dad had one. I should have asked him.
Sam's dad.
So
email chuddlepod@gmail.com.
Comes up behind him and stabs Tina's mom in the back with the doctor.
Also,
and at this point, I thought maybe it was one of those double kills that went through them both, but alas.
Missed opportunity. But, I mean, the doctor's also using Operation Human Body Shield and moves Tina's mom, like, in front of Jason. And it's like, okay, you just get to murder her and I'm going to run away.
He totally does that shit. He's a fucking bastard, man. Mm-hmm. He holds her up like, first front fucking artillery, you go ahead and die. Fuck you.
Yeah, peace.
Later.
Now Nick's looking for anyone, and of course he can only find Melissa. And he's like, "Fucking all right."
It's like, God damn it!
Just the mom got killed because Tina.
Also, do you think that Melissa's a serial killer just based off the fact that when fucking Nick literally says everyone's dead, she just goes, "Huh, whatever."
Shut up. Yeah. She's a sociopath at least.
Oh, come on.
You're just trying to get in my pants.
There's no way that they're dead. I haven't killed them yet.
Right, exactly. Then Tina runs into the doctor in the woods. She
never trusts a doctor
She's like,
in the woods.
What happened to my mom? He's like, nothing. She's totally fine because he knows that
ball was hiding in the bushes.
Freakout's coming.
He was hiding in the fucking bushes like, oh, look, don't look here. Like I
wish he had at least got telekinetically tossed by her or something before Jason got him.
This guy needed to do something. He sucks so much, man. Fuck this guy.
Now Jason comes with that weed eater, but it's like a blade on the end of it instead of a
weed eater on steroids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And now he's chasing the doctor with that. Tina finds a bunch of bodies. Oh yeah, Tina runs into like the corpse alarm central. There's like
oh my God.
4 all at once, and what's
Just
his name? Russell falls down again.
Yep, falls down again. It's like a garden of gore. And at this point, what's her name? Maddie is now nailed to a tree.
Yes. Jason's gotten really good at this at this point. He's like, this is his art.
No,
it's always been thinking about.
He just can't help it. He knows what to do. Set up these corpses like this. I want everyone to find them like this. Drop this corpse down right now. 10 milliliters, whatever milligrams. I don't know fucking math from other countries, but yeah.
It's all good.
Let the corpse
so
drop.
The doctor
right
gets cut in half. I guess he got cut in half by that thing. We would have seen it, but it got cut out by the bladed weed eater. Just kind of goes into his belly. Yeah. Now we got our showdown between Tina and Jason because he heard that corpse alarm go off and he's right there. And she telekinetics some roots to grab him and make him fall in a puddle, and a power line falls. Electrocutes him with a power line while he's face down in a puddle.
No, I don't even know if it's a continuity thing. If you rip the power line from the outside, from that pole, you didn't put that back together. So when she gets home, why are all the lights on?
Yeah, because there's only 2 houses there. It's not like they'd have
Ross. We can't think too hard. We can't think too hard about this movie, man. Right.
That's exactly it. Because we've seen that in other movies, so it automatically came on. She goes in. Yeah, so she goes inside the house after this.
Full blown
lights are on.
Carrie versus
Jason jumps through a window.
Party balloons.
Happy birthday to me. Because Jason hopped through a fucking window and just stands up and looms with all these party balloons around him. It's fantastic.
You get another
usually with the windows, he's been jumping through grabbing people. This time he just jumped through to be like hello.
I'm here now.
Sup.
The big Chuddle. Sup. He's there. Yeah.
So she sees the plant with the head in it and telekinetically throws it at him, and I think that is so funny.
It's so dope.
That's hilarious. He chases her outside and she collapses the porch on him, and for some reason she thinks this killed him. She
electrocuted him,
drowned him, and electrocuted him with a power line.
In this
scene, that didn't
kill
kill him,
by
but
the
she
power
thinks
of the
the
porch
did it.
He will die.
In this scene where the porch fell on Kane Hodder, the weight of the porch was so heavy, no one anticipated this. His head was smack on the steps of the fucking porch, and the only thing that saved his life from bad injury was the hawk. The hawk saved his life, because when the porch fell down, he went smack on the staircase, down. And yes, and he said in something I watched that the hockey mask saved his fucking face from smack. Because, yeah, big time. And the actress that played the stunt double of Tina was visibly in the shot. If you watch, she jumps when the porch lands. Watch the scene again, because she jumps, and it's like she was concerned about her fellow stunt coordinator or stunt person going through that scene, and it was Kane Hodder.
Yeah, because he did all of the stunts.
I love the fact that the hockey mask was the protection that he needed. Like, wow, that's hilarious.
That was it.
If he was Michael Myers, would have been dead.
That was it.
Latex. Yeah, latex ain't gonna hurt.
The unbelief.
So they're back in the house. Tina has said, "Oh, don't worry, he's dead. I made the porch fall on him." Melissa goes to leave, but there's Jason with an axe. She gets an axe to the head and then is thrown across the room.
The axe to the face, and then just grabbing her by the scuff and just hawking her across.
She flows so like divinely across the fucking room. And
Splat
this is,
thud.
we're waiting for Melissa to get her comeuppance, and we finally get the scene where she gets chopped and thrown. And
So
yeah,
good.
dude, you're
Mhm.
right. Like, it's so fucking dope. I love this scene.
And now Tina and Nick run upstairs to get away from Jason. She telekinesis an
Smash.
overhead light to hit him, and also opens a hole in
Knocks
the
his ass
stairs
through-
so that
He just
or no,
falls through.
he just
yeah.
falls through the stairs when he lands on the stairs.
Another
Then
thing
she
about
falls down the stairs.
another thing
Go
about
ahead.
that scene where he gets smacked with the light. That was Kane Hodder's idea. Like, he was like, "Hey, smack me in the head with the light, and I'll go through." In the original scene was he was going to tumble down the stairs, but Kane Hodder said I should go through the stairs into the basement. And so they filmed it that way, and that's what you see on screen. But he was 2 inches from the practical stairs versus the false stairs he went through.
Oh, so he almost died on that one too.
He almost crashed his skull into the fucking real wood. Yeah, dude. Kane Hodder's a goddamn
Wow.
beast. He's a
Oh,
beast.
yeah, and that's not all. We got even more cool stunt shit from him.
Yeah.
So she's going to leave. He pops out
Like,
again.
Harry Potter comes right out of that
pulls her-
under the stairs.
Yeah, he pops out again. She brain pulls his hawk so tight that
goo,
we're
brain
getting goo and
goo.
stuff popping out of the
Yeah.
side.
Waterlogged
So brain
brain
goo.
goo.
And then it snaps off. Hawk
Yeah.
snaps off. Jason is uglier than
dude.
ever. And
My heart
So fucking
aflutter.
dope.
The fact that like they got all the wounds right, as in like they had
Yep.
the axe cut, they had the machete cut, they had the boat rudder, and they had every wound that he has sustained,
Mhm.
but in a petrified, rotting, just waterlogged head. God, so good.
So good. So good.
This to me is like when you see Phantom of the Opera's face for the first time with Lon Chaney, where it's just got that like, no, and you're just like, oh, goo.
I agree, dude. I agree 1,000%. Yep.
so she mind hangs him, mind rips a hole in the floor, and mind drops him into it. So he's back in the basement. But of course he keeps coming. I guess, what, does she fall in? He must pull her in, because then she mind nails him to a wall and mind sprays gas all over him.
Yeah.
Gets a little on herself, so she takes off her jacket. Then she mind
so
flame
good.
throws the furnace to set him on fire.
Yep.
Now, here's the other badass stunt thing.
Mhm.
IMDb behind the scenes.
Mhm.
The film set a record for the longest uninterrupted on-screen controlled burn in Hollywood history. To accomplish this effect, they used a rigged apparatus to actually capture the ignition on film. In that moment, you are actually watching Kane Hodder truly being set on fire, an effect which normally accomplished at the time via trick photography. Hodder stayed on fire for a
Wow.
record-setting 40 seconds.
Oh.
Which I remembered Nightmare on Elm Street had set the record, but this must have beat it. And I even Googled, I was like, because who knew if this was still accurate or not.
Mhm.
I Googled what's the longest, and this is it.
Whoa.
it's still
That's
accurate
amazing.
to this day.
day.
Friday
Wow.
the 13th, part 7. Goddamn record-setting stuntman being set on fire.
I guess at this point, though, it would be almost easier to set up CGI for someone on fire
And
versus
safer.
and safer.
Safer.
I mean,
yeah.
stuntman gonna stunt though.
Yeah,
Sure,
fuck
yeah.
that though. I bet all the stuntmen that won't work are like, set me on fire.
Do it.
Please, CGI.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck that
I'm
shit.
sure you get paid extra for getting set on fire. Each take of a stunt you do, you get paid for. Like, stuntmen are always trying to do things. Kane Hodder was probably like, it'd be cool to hit me with that lamp because I will get paid more money for that.
Yeah. I love
Tina
lamp.
Oh, and what's funny, earlier in the movie, a throwaway line at the party, some commotion happens in the other room and Nick leaves to clean up, and then the stoner walk back in the room. He's like rubbing his head. He's like, who would put a lamp there?
Oh,
Just a silly thing that happened earlier.
Wow. Dope.
Okay, now Tina and Nick escape the burning house. Surprise, Jason is still fucking alive, reaches in with his burned up arm. Now we get burned up zombie Jason.
Hold on. Let's not skip this scene real quick, Sam. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but
Please.
they blow up an entire house in this fucking scene. An entire
When they run out.
Oh, really?
Yes, this is
Yeah.
no, but this is not CGI. This is not stunt. This is not miniature. They actually blew up a big entire house in the scene
Wow.
for real. So they almost lost the footage because it was so intense. They filmed it from
Oh,
several
God.
angles, and you see it in the movie. They blew up an entire house. They blew it up from. That's why it's so intense, dude. This movie went hardcore as fuck. And what we
I
see,
can't believe that didn't come up in IMDb. Nobody told that yet. That's cool. I didn't have a chance to watch my special features. Otherwise, I'm sure I would have had it. Sorry, everybody. Thanks for being here, Tivu.
no. And they talk about it in the things I saw. They blew up the whole fucking thing. And they almost lost the footage of the house going up because it was too close and the production crew didn't know that it was going to be that intense. But what you see on film, that house blowing up, that was an entire fucking structure being blown
Cool.
way the fuck up. So dope. So it's so Freddy versus Jason with what they did here, like, because what happens later. But yes, that is so. I love this movie for that. Like for this entire ending
Great.
scene is
So they blew up a real house.
yes, sir.
Surprise, Jason is still alive. Grabs his burned up arm, tosses Tina to the side. Nick shoots him a couple times, then he gets knocked back onto a boat. Tina uses her mind powers to bring her dad to life out of the lake, comes up through the dock, and pulls Jason in. This is very funny.
Yeah.
It's insane. And
Yep.
now Tina and Nick are taken away in an ambulance, and surprise, there is no surprise at the end. It just, that is what happens. There is no, oh my God, Jason's still alive or something, anything else. The director is one of is the firefighter who picks up Jason's broken mask at the end.
Oh, nice.
And that is the end. Do you have any final points to make before we do a little bump?
Nope.
Bump. And now it is time for our crematorium of questions. Let's get right into it, fellas. Are we going to survive? I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, unless we got in a car and left immediately.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or had
then-
telekinetic powers.
Yeah.
or had telekinetic powers. There's absolutely no way that we're surviving this. This Jason is a mean killing machine.
Yeah.
You don't
Mhm.
get to see a lot of what he kills, but he's still doing it.
Sure.
At this point in the franchise, I don't think there's no way you can survive unless you have knowledge of the franchise or whatever the fuck. No, I'm dead. I'm dead.
I'm dead, yeah, for sure. Even though he still does a lot of sneak attacks in this one, he's just so powerful that eventually he's going to get you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Should it be gooier?
Yes.
That's a big
I'm
fat
gonna
yes on this one.
Yeah.
Yep.
100%. Just put in the actual the gore shots that you intended, and this would be a great movie. It would be a much gooier movie.
I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree with
I've
Ross.
never so strongly felt that it needed to be good. I've never, like, you have strongly agree, or disagree, strongly disagree. This would be my highest, yes, it should be gooier of any movie we've ever done.
100%.
Yep. Agree.
Film level 1 through 10. 1 through 5 for power level, 1 through 4 iconography. Get your total. For me, I'm going to give 8, 4 for each. Because while I think he does look really cool, he's not my favorite looking in the franchise. And his power is almost a 5. But again, he can be defeated. It's not like a color out of space or something.
Right.
Right. Mine would be man, honestly, mine's a 9.5. Mine, like, the iconography for this is off the charts, and his power level only gets a half point because you are 100% right. He can be defeated, but for the most part, he is pretty much immortal. Like, there's
Right.
not a whole lot of stuff that you can do to this dude to really stop him. But
I will agree with Ross on this. Like, dude, like he is at this point, you're fucked if you're trying to fight Jason. He is an immortal zombie. They got lucky with the lake shit and whatever the fuck they did at the end.
Yeah, I mean, if you can't summon your dad that you killed out of a lake to pull him down there, I don't know what you're gonna do.
Yeah, good luck.
Right,
So I'll agree with Ross. 9.5 out of 10. Yeah, same.
Nice. Does this movie deserve a sequel? And what is your sequel for this movie? I would say sure. In my sequel, we would still have Tina fighting Jason somewhere.
yeah.
Like,
Or
that would be
honestly,
it.
having Tina fight a different slasher. Like a different, so like instead of, I mean, it would be a deterrent but it'd be the Tina series versus the Friday the 13th series.
Right.
She's kind of like the Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So she could hop in, or hack and slash. She can hop into different
That'd be
slasher
cool.
eras.
That'd be very cool.
Yeah, use her powers for good.
For a sequel, I would like to see Jason like come back and Tina and Tommy Jarvis team up like with her powers and his know-how. Like
Tina and Tommy.
Yeah, Tina and Tommy, and they have to team up and somehow figure
The
out
TT team up.
Yeah, how to deal with Jason. I don't know what that would look like, but I think Tommy and Tina together.
I'm there.
Yeah, I think that would be a good sequel for this movie.
If this movie was a band, what is the name and genre?
Oh.
Ross, you had one. What was it? Like Uncontrollable Sadness?
It was
No, it's like
the bulk.
It was. She gave herself migraines from the bulk of her own crying.
The bulk of her own crying is the name of my band.
Yes,
dope. And that's like an emo group.
I would say, yeah, pretty much emo. But just talking about, but the entire album is just about drowning.
I would say mine would be like, oh man, I didn't think about this, but it would be like it'd be a psychedelic band, psychedelic rock with concept album shit going on, and it would be like Carrie and the Slashers or something like, or oh shit, I can't think of nothing better than that, man. I'm sorry, Carrie and the Slashers. And they're a psychedelic rock band, and their first record is called The New Blood. I don't know. I'm sorry. I didn't come prepared.
No, it's all good, man. You're fine. You're fine. You could also skip. It like don't feel like you have to come up with something.
That'd be mine.
Mine is Patricide. Is that what it's called?
Killing your father. Yeah.
Patricide. And it's
pop punk.
I mean, it has to be death metal.
Yeah.
I hate to be so cliched, but it truly does. Old school Florida death metal.
Fuck
Patricide.
Yeah. I love it.
Would you buy the soundtrack or score on vinyl?
No.
Same.
Not for this one. Harry Manfredini was busy scoring another film while this happened, and they hired this other guy to fill in, and he sucked. So
well, they still used a lot of music from the old ones, but he kind of redid aspects and different things.
Yeah, so I'd say no. Not dying to buy this one on vinyl.
Ross, did you have an answer? If you did,
honestly, I was gonna say I can't even really remember this soundtrack. So just the fact that I can't remember it probably constitutes me
I'll do it.
saying no.
All right, I know the answer to this one. What from this movie is action figure worthy?
Oh, goddamn, Jason.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, spine back daddy. Fucking give me that. Give me Melissa with Jason throwing her over the TV set. I want that as a what do you call that? A miniature set. Give me give me Jason throwing her ass. A diorama, yes, sir. Yeah. Throwing her over the fucking TV set. I would love that.
Or, like those old penny machines? You know what I mean? Where it's like you put the penny in it and it hucks it and then you kind of like get it into the bank.
Yeah.
What if it's a Jason but the quarter's lodged in Melissa's head, so you just throw it and then it just goes directly into the bank.
Yeah.
That's good too.
I'm all about it.
What merch or prop would you want from this film? Well, Ross already has a hawk.
I already got a hawk, so you know what? This is the first time I'm gonna stay out of this one because I already got mine.
I want the dock where the fucking dad fell in. I want the dock, the whole dock. Give me that.
Give me that
animatronic dock. I want the animatronic dock where he fucking just gets all like, oh, I don't know what's going on. Yeah,
fantastic.
I want that. Yeah.
I'll take the blown up house.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you guys have anything you do at the midnight show?
Ooh. I'd be like, don't trust the doctor. I'd be screaming the whole time,
screaming
like,
stuff about the doctor.
Yeah, like fuck this guy, he sucks. I don't know what I would throw at the screen. Like
I think in unison, everyone's saying "I don't like you" to Melissa when he says that one line would be amazing.
Oh, absolutely, for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
When the guy makes himself into a space mummy with the wrappings, everyone throws Band-Aids at the screen.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
You could have people wrapping themselves up with TP in the aisles at the same time.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Man, that would be dope too, though. Yeah, I like this fucking midnight movie idea.
Or honestly, when Jason cuts the power to the house, everyone has a little flashlight, so everybody in the audience turns a flashlight on and starts playing around.
Oh, that'd be good too.
What you gotta do is everybody turns it on ahead of time, and when he cuts the power, everybody turns it off at the same time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Great. How is this Jason going to murder Pearl from X?
Hardcore.
Instead of like skull crushing, he's going to take her by her feet and then by her head and then just accordion smush her into dust. Or she might be getting frisky in a sleeping bag and he just disintegrates her in a sleeping bag.
I was going to say just wrap her up, throw her against a tree. She's done. Pearl is not surviving this movie. No way, no how.
No, I doubt that.
I was just going to say he doesn't need the axe. Just do the toss across the room like he does to Melissa. And that'll do it too.
Right. Just throw her.
Great. Awesome. Let's get to those ratings, shall we? It's time to pull out our various garden tools as we rate this film. On this show, we like to rate movies on a scale of 0 to 5 severed fingers. Each finger represents a particular quality about the movie. You can chop off half a finger or no fingers, put them together, we get your score. These ratings are intended to be subjective on how we feel about a movie, and it does not matter if the movie is objectively good or bad. That being said, I'm going to start with our guest.
Ooh.
Oh, shit. Oh, wow. All right. Engaging. 1. I'll give it a 1 for engaging. Like, I was engaged the whole time. I enjoyed this movie. I always do. Is T-shirtable the second one?
Sticky.
1. It sticks with me, even though it's not my favorite of the franchise. It does stick with me. I remember Part 7 all the time.
Nice. T-shirtable is now.
I would totally wear a T-shirt of this movie. I think it's a 1, so that's a 3 already. That doesn't feel right, but I
Cockles.
Cockles.
Just go with the scale and then compare it to your
right.
heart.
Cockles. It does get my cockles. It does. That's a 1.
Yeah.
And rewatchable.
That's a 1. It's a 5.
Fuck.
It's a 5 on the Chuddle scale, but guys, in my scale, that would be. This movie is not a 5.
Sure,
though.
yeah, totally.
It's
So
not-
what do you think it is in your heart? What is it actually?
For the Chuddle scale,
It's not perfect. The scale's not perfect. We have to adjust sometimes.
and I get that, but I love y'all's scale. I love how y'all do it though. For me, this movie would be like a 3 out of 5 Chuddle in my heart, but based on what I said, it's a 5. So I'm
Sure.
conflicted. I'm very conflicted right now because
So what on a scale of 10, which you normally do, would it be 6 out of 10, or what do you think you'd have it at?
see, we're getting all fucked up now. I think on the scale of 10, I would give this a 7.5.
Okay,
because-
so at least go 3.5 then, because that at least gets you to 7.
I can go with that 3 point. I would cut off 3.5 fingers for this movie because you know what? I love the Friday the 13th franchise, and this is not one of my favorite movies in it. I don't like the side characters that much. I don't find them very memorable, except Melissa, her only. Besides our main cast with Dr. Cruz, Tina, her mom, and Jason.
Nick.
No, fuck Nick. I don't care about him.
He's main cast.
He's not memorable. Fuck him. I'm sorry, but yeah, fuck him and his big eyebrows. But I like talking about it with y'all. So like I'm all over the place with it. So
I think 3.5, 4.
3.5.
I think that's fine.
3.5 out of 5. I'll be comfortable with tonight. Yes.
All right. Fair. Ross, I want to know what you're comfortable with tonight.
All right. Let's. you know, Sam. All right. Engaging gets a full 1. We get telekinesis in this. I was ensnared.
That's telekinesis, Kyle.
Telekinesis, Kyle. Sticky's also going to get a 1 from me. T-Shirtable is going to get a 1 from me because I own Part 7 t-shirts. So if I own the shirt, it's probably going to get a 1 from me. Cockles. So Cockles is where I kind of veer off. Cockles gets a 0.5 for me, only because I've seen the unedited kill scenes for this movie, and this would grossly change the rating of this movie for me if that was actually included in if there was a killer cut,
of course,
or a director's or some kind of cut that came, like if they found it in a vault somewhere and next year they came out with like the new bloody cut of New Blood, could also change
the new bloody cut,
and then rewatchable for me is a 1. I rewatch Part 7 all the time. It's a super fun one, so that leads it to a 4.5, which I also think is kind of high for this movie in particular. I'm going to go on the higher end of 3.5, and as in like I'm going to go with a 4. I think I feel comfortable with a 4 for Part 7. It's just yeah, I mean, like, I don't know.
I feel like I want to come up with you and say it's a 4 though, because I remember this movie
I agree
so much.
with everything you say though, because it's like, I think for me this is also in a very tight nostalgia nugget that I also, because like Part 7's comfort food for me. Like I'll throw on Part 7 fucking whenever. Although I'm very clear in that, like, I know what the movie is.
Right,
that makes sense. It's like, although, like, I'll rewatch it 1,000 times.
Can I change my rating though? Can I change it?
Yeah.
I feel like I want to come up with Ross and be at a 4 out of 5.
Get up.
I feel like I want to be at a 4. I feel that way because I can't deny, even though it's in my bottom of the franchise, I feel like I remember this movie so much and I love it so much. Watching it, talking to y'all, it's a 4. Yeah. It's a 4 out of 5.
7.
I got
no. Well, 7 tends to be the gateway Friday the 13th drug. To be totally honest with you, because it's like a lot of people go for like how gnarly he looks, and he goes, well, if you're into this, you're gonna really enjoy these other installments.
I like this so much, man. I gotta give. I'm going with Ross. I'm with Ross. 4 out of 5 too.
You got
Hey,
it,
Sam.
Yeah.
Ross. Just so you know, I took off half on your sticky to
perfect.
get it down to 4 for
I think
our
I did
tracking
that.
purposes.
Well, what about you, Sam?
Oh, thank you for asking. We got a engaging. Engaging is going to be a 1. I'm never a time I'm really distracted. If anything, when I was trying to watch it to like get notes to follow to follow it chronologically, I kept having to go back and because I'd be like, oh, I was just watching the movie and not taking notes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely engaging. Sticky, I'm going to throw it a 0.5. Who knows what it will end up being long term, but I'm sure I'll remember parts of it.
Mm-hmm.
At least the telekinesis, right?
Yeah.
T-shirtable, I'll give a 0.5 as well. Right design, Zom Jason looks awesome. Even the poster is cool enough, although I probably wouldn't get that necessarily. But there's definitely some cool design in there, so it gets a 0.5. Cockles, that's a tough one. Because I actually, it does work them in a way, but also it disappoints them because of the lack of goo that Ross touched on before.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I have to go 0.5 there.
Okay.
And rewatchable, go 0.5 as well, which gives me a 3 out of 5. I thought I might come in a little higher, actually, at a 3.5, but I'm totally comfortable with a 3 as well. So
Yeah.
I'm just going to leave it there.
Feels good. Feels good.
Feels good. Yeah, feels fine. And
Okay.
we plan on doing a re-rating special at the end of the year, so maybe I'll change it then. But for now, I'm totally happy to leave it at a 3.
Okay.
And that puts us... Well, Bryan, I don't have his score, so we're not going to know
Dun dun
what
dun.
the average
Dun,
score
dun,
is or where it lands on
You know when-
our...
You know how you're gonna find out? Get in our Discord.
Yeah. Jump in the fucking Chuddle the Pod
Friday the
Discord.
13th Part 7 little sub area, and we'll plug those numbers in for you. We'll do the math.
Yeah.
Well, if Bryan gets us our score, I have a feeling we won't get it till that re-ratings episode, but we'll see.
Speaking of the Discord, though, Sam did.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
Speaking of the Discord, I didn't remember to do a all call to everybody till like an hour before we started recording, but I got a little bit of thoughts from our club members. The Witch Plowix tells us, Friday the 13th, Part 7, Carrie versus Jason. It's been a long time since I saw this one, but I remember liking it. Points off for not having enchilada references, though. Considering what comes after this one, I consider this one of the last fun 80s Jason movies.
Oh.
Then from Weird, we have engaging, 0.5. The story was interesting, but the characters are largely cardboard cutouts. Seen them before, nothing interesting there. Rewatchable, 0.5. The story could have been better and done more. The idea of Carrie vs. Jason is really cool, but it fell flat. I put it on in the background if there's nothing else on. T-shirtable, 0.5. There's only 2 images of Jason that are worth the shirt: when he wakes up in the lake and when his mask comes off. Cockles, 0. Can't say they made this made me feel anything one way or other. Not sure what I would change to make it better either. And then Sticky, 0.5. It would all come back as I started watching it again, but there's nothing really that ends up except the house blowing up at the end. So that gives us a total of 2. 2 out of 5. So that's definitely on the lower end.
Yeah.
But that's totally fine. Doesn't bother me. What about you guys? You double like it compared to her.
Yeah, I
got a soft spot for it though. I've been watching it since I was super young. Like I feel like again, this isn't like a nougat of nostalgia for me. So like realistically, it is on the lower end. You know what I mean? But I feel that, like, I don't know. It just has a special place in my heart.
I like this one. I can see this one going up to 3.5, but we'll see.
I agree with Ross. I saw it young, and so like it's always been one that, like, even though I don't like a lot, I still enjoy. But Sam, I'm glad you enjoyed it to the point that you did, because I don't think this is one of the better movies, but it has a lot to offer. So it's one of those weird ones.
I think it's a worthy entry. It's weird because it's like, it's kind of like 5 where they're like doing something different again.
Yep.
But maybe I just like that when they sort of break a bit from formula.
Yeah.
But the time has come to steel your nerves and sharpen your wit, because it is time for
Dun dun.
the final thingy. All right. ChatGPT always tearing it up. Would you rather spend a night alone in the abandoned, dilapidated Crystal Lake cabin featured in Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood, with Jason Voorhees lurking nearby?
Or
face off against a telekinetically enhanced Tina Shepard in a battle for survival?
Oh, that's
interesting.
I'd
rough.
I'd fight Tina, to be totally honest with you, because I would try to reason with her, because she's still like, you can't reason with Jason. Tina is still technically like a person that you could be like, hey,
I'd be like, hey,
don't
girl,
do this.
Hey, look, I'll make you a rice and gravy real quick.
Or just I could lull Tina into a false sense of security and then try to hit her over the head with something.
I
might do the night in the cabin.
No,
because it's just one night in the cabin with Jason nearby.
He's coming by, man.
Is he?
Yeah, he's gonna get you. He's gonna get you.
Play hide and seek all the time. I can hide pretty well.
I will swoon Tina. I'll swoon her. I'll be like, listen, girl.
Honestly, Sam, you may have a point. Because like, unless you're giving some self-love, like, it's not, he's going after horny teenagers, not just a dude in a cabin somewhere by himself.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be scared. I'd be scared no matter what.
I'll be thinking about baseball all night long. All right. Any more thoughts on that subject? Because I'm ready to get us out of here, boys.
Let's get out of Camp Crystal Lake, at least for this cycle.
Let's go. Yeah.
Well, that does it. We did it. Chuddle the Pod Horror Movie Club meeting is adjourned. Follow the Chuddle the Pod on Instagram and Slasher to stay up to date with the podcast, see what's happening with us. Follow at Ross Purvis on Instagram if you want to see all his cool tattoo stuff. Maybe hit him up for a tattoo. Do it. Yeah. You can follow me at Chuddle the Sam on Letterboxd if for some reason you want to see the movies I've been watching, although lately I just tend to add a bunch at once because I forget to do it. And then Bryan is always around in the Discord if you'd like to talk to him. I'm in there too. T-Boo's in there. Ross makes the occasional appearance.
Hell yeah.
Please rate us on the podcast app if you made it this far. And even better than that, tell your friends, because word of mouth helps more than anything.
Word of mouth.
Want to thank T-Boo for coming on again. Check out the Nightclub Podcast. We've been on there. He's been on here. We've had others. We mix our waters. We're kind of like Jason and Tina in that sense.
Yeah.
So
Chuddle the Pod's gonna be on our
here.
shit for fucking Halloween Havoc. Yeah, we're gonna do a Halloween episode, big time. Chuddle the Pod. Ross, you gonna be there?
Tomorrow.
I'm gonna try.
We're recording.
Yeah, we're gonna fucking Halloween Havoc it. All right. Well,
but thanks for coming. Thanks for listening. And until next time, avoid the time limit.